my week will be great after I find out how these fantasy football results after Sunday.
Oh.
I'm in like 3 leagues, nigga. I'm finna get it.
I am too.
Because you know,
it's not
today's the first
yeah, I
day
know.
of the season.
Oh, trust me, I know. I was already on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
And I gotta go against this nigga in all 3 leagues, so.
Nigga.
Yeah,
You nigga. Shit, my week has been pretty good, man. I'm not even gonna lie. It's been a pretty good week. Can't complain about nothing. I mean, if I did, it ain't gonna do me no good anyway. So it's like, fuck it. Could be worse. How about you, Ronette? How's your week?
My weekend has been pretty good. My week has been pretty good.
Yeah.
I was watching the Bobby Brown story before I came over here.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
It's so good. It's so good. You gotta watch part 1 before you go to part 2. But
Moment with 20 people.
I figured, you know what, if I get down and out, I can just remember Bobby. You know, he's been through a lot of shit, came through it, so.
Yeah, people don't like. I don't think he get the respect he deserves. So niggas be trying to play him like a joke, but that nigga was that nigga in like the '80s, my nigga. Like, like if you didn't know nobody from New Edition, you knew Bobby Brown. Like,
exactly.
For y'all young motherfuckers, man, Bobby Brown was quite prominent back in late '80s, early '90s. You know what I'm saying? Started with New Edition. And then, you know, they went and got Johnny Gill, and I don't know why they did that, because, you know, whatever, but, you know, Bobby Brown's like, fuck it, yo, I'm going to go on my own, and started humping the fucking air, and...
That nigga was humping everything.
Yes, doing wild coke, didn't give a fuck, yo.
Everybody tried to blame him, like, Whitney got him on that shit.
Exactly.
She was like, nigga, you trying to get this cooch, you better... Alright.
You know what's so crazy, yo? Motherfuckers don't really be thinking like that, because I'm like, I guess me growing up in Jersey, I'm looking like, yeah, that's some Jersey shit that they do up there.
Nah, but
that's some real Jersey shit.
Hold on. Is it because Bobby is telling his story, or if Whitney was telling her story, would it be in reverse?
Nah, because they sold her as America's sweetheart.
Yeah,
like,
but
she was the good girl of R&B. He was the bad boy of R&B. Like, oh, I'm bad.
But I'm saying, would it be more believable for people if Whitney had her story and it was like, oh, Bobby introduced her?
But I don't think she would have tried it like that, yo. I think she would have really put it on.
But they had the Whitney story like a couple of months ago, like maybe last year even. And
I think I remember.
Yeah, and
watch
the same story from her point of view.
Right.
She got him on coke.
Oh, she did?
So, yeah, when they met each other that same night, she offered him coke. So.
Again, I tell people that's some real New Jersey shit where motherfuckers just be doing drugs like that, dog. Like, that's not like it doesn't surprise me. It's like, oh, where she was on that? Yeah. I'm like, that ain't nothing, dude. Like, everybody up there in Newark and Irvington and all that shit, they all on coke and shit like that. That ain't nothing, dude. Like, if she wasn't on coke, then I'd probably be really surprised. But nah, yo, like the one thing that surprised me, and maybe it's because I heard this and I didn't pay it no attention, but I didn't know that he had fucked Janet Jackson, yo.
That's what everybody was talking.
I didn't know, right?
Yeah, I did not know.
Charlamagne said it was in a book. He was like, I told y'all to read the book. He's like, he threw out the room naked. I'm like, yeah, that's some real legendary shit. You know, like I heard that.
Was getting it in.
I heard he was splacking them cheeks before she got married or something.
No, while she was married.
Oh wow, goddamn.
But Whitney Houston cheated on him with Tupac, so.
Where you get that from?
He said it. He admitted it. Bobby Brown said it. He like Whitney Houston cheated on him with Tupac.
Damn.
Like she got quiet, yo.
Damn, that shit is messy as fuck. Yo, this is messy, man.
I know, right?
This is spicy.
All that was going on.
Yo, the spice level was off.
Exactly.
Whitney's out here giving them cheeks up, yo.
You gotta give Bobby
How will I
respect.
know if he's gonna fuck me?
Drugs.
Damn, yo, like
drugs.
yeah, that was some drugs, all right. Getting them cheeks cracked, yo. I didn't go.
And Ray J was hitting. Nobody wanted to admit it.
I remember that.
Oh yeah, Ray J hit.
Ray J was beating them cheeks, yo. I'd have beat.
Yeah,
She was like 82. I still would have beat, yo. Spit in that bread. Like, fuck out of here, son.
So you out here trying to get them old cheeks, right?
And them shits got benefits, goddamn.
And what she said, you got to do a couple of lines with me first.
I don't know.
Yeah. Want some cheese?
So you gotta do these
Somebody
lines.
got them racks
You want
up
this
like,
cake?
You can get these cheeks, but you gotta smoke this fucking rock. Like,
I'm good.
but I'm gonna give you all this money. No. You ain't gonna smoke that rock, son? What do you
Like, I hit it after you hit it.
What am I? Y'all hear it? Ooh, I'm woozy.
He gonna be hitting her from the back. She gonna pass that shit behind like, here, nigga.
Here you go. Toss that shit.
She's gonna hear. That's right back to why you blow no smoke up? Shut up, bitch. You high.
I want to fact check that.
What?
That Tupac and Whitney. Fact check.
Running petty, yo.
If you tell everybody, you look it up. I'm not gonna prove myself.
Yeah, everybody gonna do that. Yeah, fuck that.
I am,
Hold
and
up,
I'm gonna
first
let
of all,
you know.
You can't fact check my nigga. He got the laptop right there. He can Google it.
That's
what she said.
I'm not. In case I'm wrong,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna prove myself wrong. Fuck out the
Nigga, you can lie. Nobody recording the fucking screen on that laptop. I got it right here. Nobody recording that.
That is a lie. You gonna go? You said BobbyBrown.com.
That nigga gonna go that shit.
Google did Bobby Whitney used to fuck Tupac? Like, yes.
And then they gonna go ask Jeeves and shit.
Guys, damn, dog.
That's since 99.
Ask Jeeves.
Gotta go on Bing and shit, yo. But I didn't even watch the shit, but you know, everybody ruined it and all that shit. But I mean, I kind of know his story anyway. I mean, you know, I grew up around that time, so I know a good bit about his story. I know who the fuck was gonna fuck him up one time? Like niggas was like on his ass, and Whitney had to go ahead and pay his bread to go ahead cause he owed somebody some shit for some coke or some drugs, and Whitney had to go pay the shit to make sure that nigga ain't get his ass killed because they was gonna kill him, son.
Damn.
Yeah, like that shit happened
They ain't show that part. No.
Yeah, they ain't gonna show that part. Shit, the nigga had problems with what's his name? I think Mike Tyson had problems with him too.
Mike Tyson got problems with him.
Yeah, but that's Mike, you know, Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson got problems with him.
What's up, Joe? What's up, Keith?
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
Ain't nobody seen Cool Joe in forever,
Right, Cool Joe been on vacation.
I know, man. Been on a fucking hiatus. What up,
talking about
Keith?
ignorant shit? We ain't had no knowledge.
Yeah, we had.
Going on.
We've been talking about number of ignorant shit since you've been going.
No, I got your bagels.
You got my bagels?
They in the car.
Yes.
Oh, you got some rum cake?
I go get them.
Thank
Not
you.
Christmas time.
Oh,
Thank you.
they ain't bring them butter crunch cookies though.
Them butter hunch cookies.
They got butter crunch
them
cookies
slutter
and
crunch.
cocktails.
You nasty, bro. You a wild G. Y'all wild. But like I said, I didn't get a chance to watch it. I saw everybody else was talking about it. I'm gonna check it out though. I mean, you know, shout out to Bobby Brown. It's good to see that he's getting some attention. I mean, some positive attention. Because I remember for a minute, like he was getting nothing but negative. You know, then wife dies, daughter dies. Like he was on suicide watch.
The father was supposed to die. The mother died before the father. The father had cancer.
Jesus
The
Christ.
mother died before the father. He thought when they called him that the father died. The mother died. Then the father died. Then Whitney died. Then the daughter died.
Yeah, exactly.
They got like
It was
11
just like,
other kids.
yeah, and it was
Yeah,
just
but
like
still.
back to back to back. He had a stroke, a heart attack.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know what, Bobby? I give him much respect. He's living
Yeah,
through all of that.
that
Don't you
man
know them
is
personally?
Strong. Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? What up? What up? You was hanging out with Bobby Brown? You got some stories?
So some of that stuff I know is facts. So,
Oh shit!
yeah.
Like him doing coke?
Yeah. Well, that's not the secret. Bobby has never ever been ashamed of what he's done, and I give him that.
No.
Never ever.
I want to hang out with him one day.
I mean, I heard that a lot of the family are mad at the story because they think that, well, I guess his new wife Alicia or whatever, saying that she's kind of got too much input in the story, and it's not.
Everybody on my
Not
live,
as,
go to
it's
YouTube.
not like how it really is. They saying
Watch
that her
Document.
embracing his family is not how it really is. Like they say that she's using Bobby to shun them basically, and in the movie she's making it seem like she welcomed them with open arms. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I just some shit I heard today, but I don't.
But you always gonna have some angry people.
You are.
No matter if we did a story here, if I did a y'all niggas like fuck that nigga, he ain't had to tell
I'm
that.
like, that wasn't true. He just made that up. Like,
Oh, I'm definitely gonna tell that. I'm like, nigga, you know that shit ain't true. I'm like, fuck you.
My nigga, I got the audio right here. Like, oh yeah, he did.
I'm like, shut the fuck up. But nah, I mean, you gotta expect that. You know, those are the type of responses you're gonna get whenever you put out these, you know, biopics and all that shit. I mean, that's just that's the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Absolutely.
the one person I'm more like focused on is like really and truly. I'm still waiting to see what Janet about to really like. We know.
She Janet ain't gonna sing.
But I'm just wondering, like, I know she ain't about to say no ill shit, but I'm wondering, like, because people gonna start asking, like, so he was out here cracking them yeeks, huh?
She ain't gonna confirm that.
Like,
Janet is low.
So you let this nigga crack them yeeks, but you try to get Tupac to take a fucking AIDS test? Like, word? Like,
First of all,
you let this?
That said she was letting him crack.
Damn, you got some shit to say?
Oh, yeah, already.
Oh, shit.
But the nigga Q-Tip was hitting too.
Vibrant thing?
Everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Janet was passing them cheeks
All right,
around.
I'm gonna need you to Google back some of them or not.
Janet was
Q-tip,
passing them cheeks around. Yo. Don't act
First
like
of all,
she's noted.
Janet don't need to keep no secrets. We already seen your titties, so ain't nothing else you can have. Fuck it. Tell us what is going on.
Yeah, she done
Door.
had a
Your
baby
wardrobe
for
malfunction.
50 million.
Please.
She good.
Yeah.
It's
You
kids.
seen your nipples.
You know what? Let me
Just
tell you
us know.
something. Don't downplay Janet.
It's
How
cute.
come when
Somebody get
women
another
do
chair.
what men do? And
What
like,
niggas
yeah, I'm
out
like,
here
oh,
having
hell,
babies
but I be
from 5
smashing
million?
everything. That's good.
No, I'm not.
Janet
I'm not
smashing
shaming
is a
her.
problem. Like, at the end of the day,
I'm just
Stop
saying,
women
so
dash.
if a famous celebrity out here and he's showing his dick on TV and then he try to keep secrets from the public, you like, nigga,
that
we seen your
happens
shit.
all the time. What are you talking about?
Only niggas I know show their dick is porn stars. They don't. Who be showing their dick on TV?
No, niggas is out here sending
Safari.
them dick pics, yo.
No, I'm talking about
Safari.
like in front of like millions of fans. Like,
Safari.
Who's this?
oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if he got. I don't know.
Well,
I never seen the picture. I don't know.
Now, but you said who's doing it? I gave
But
you
he's
the
not
clue.
even a big star though.
He's
He's
like
But
some
at
nigga
the-
from.
yeah, he's not
But
nobody.
at the end of the day, he's a reality,
Yeah.
a reality person.
Or-
So
He's a
say what
reality
you
whore.
want, whatever. Everybody has to have a come up.
Oh,
And
shit.
if you're gonna use that as
Motherfucking,
his come up,
motherfucking Kia
then that's
comes
what it
in.
is.
You might as well take this
That's
seat.
what it is.
He got her thighs out and shit. Her
Word?
eyes out here.
I didn't know what it was. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I didn't see it on that braids. I was like, who the fuck is that?
That's what it is.
Oh, sorry. Hi guys, it's me, just Kia.
What's up? Where you was at?
The Miguel concert.
Miguel,
Oh,
you
yeah.
was out there watching? Yo, did he leg drop somebody else? He's not just
Yeah, he was
Hit
doing.
him with the Hulk Hogan
skeptical
shit.
about that.
He hit him with the kaleidoscope dreams?
Like,
Everybody was
Yeah.
his younger brother,
Hit him with a missile drop
he
kick.
performed first.
Talking to Mike.
My bad. Okay, all right. Well, I'm late because I was at the Miguel concert here in Charlotte. It was super duper dope. His younger brother, Nonchalant Savant, I didn't even know that he was an artist, but he performed.
That's weird.
Really talented, played a lot of different instruments, and then Division, what's my man, Drake's artist from Canada, he performed.
I've never heard of these people.
He got a couple songs. He got a couple songs on the radio.
Okay, sing one.
You heard that song.
Like, nah, I ain't come here for that. I ain't come here for that.
What was that first nigga name? What's
Nonchalant Savant. So
God damn, that was.
isn't it dope though? So nonchalant,
It's
you don't really
different.
care.
I don't know.
Savant,
That
sound like some,
you
like,
know,
Prince
you're really
song.
intuitive.
Yeah.
So that's who Miguel reminded me of, like a modern day Prince.
Damn.
So he was super dope. Like his vocals are dope. His backup singers, they were dope.
Wow.
Like the whole concert was.
That nigga came out with a luchador mask on?
The last part he came, and this is how I know he the shit. He came out in a lime green mariachi suit, and I was like,
Yup, there you go. See?
this nigga could still get it. Like,
Go get a chair.
so yeah. If anybody hasn't been to the Miguel concert, if you have a chance to go. He is.
I don't even
the
think
truth.
I've ever listened to a whole Miguel album.
I haven't either. I
Um,
still
Song.
I think I have, but I can't remember. I don't know.
He actually introduced new music at the concert
Yeah, it's hot,
for his
nigga.
next album,
Shit.
and he was still like people were still rocking. So.
Really?
Yeah, but you know, it is what it is. Thank you, Terrell. He showed up. Everybody showed up eventually. Exactly. So Terrell, I guess you and Ronette could share this microphone. Kia and
Let's share.
Josh could share this one.
You know, they had free water after.
What?
So they got free water.
Shut up, man. Go ahead, Joe.
No, because by the way, myself and my wife just came from a concert.
Oh, cool.
So
Oh,
Division,
okay.
look at Division, they're great.
Yes.
And
What'd you think about the concert, Joe?
Oh, it was wonderful. Little Brother was great. Came out first, then Division came out. You know their song, just that you don't know their song.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
I
show
can't
you.
think
So
of.
it's something we heard on the radio.
I show you.
I'm
I show
talking about it
you.
right now.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up
Yeah.
on any playlist, and it'll come up. But anyway, Miguel was great and all of that. But just to piggyback off of the Janet Jackson stuff,
Oh shit.
That,
Teach these devils.
that
I'll be back.
anyway, but Singleton already admitted that he lied about the fact that the whole Tupac thing.
Oh really?
That was a lie. He admitted it already. And
Uh-huh.
also, like she said, people going fuck. Like people do that all the time. Is that for her? You know, her family didn't. Her family didn't allow. You know, I guess didn't want him to be with. Didn't want him for her.
I mean,
and that's what it is. I mean, even regular families do that. You know what I'm saying? Regular families do that. Say again.
Is this the Janet Jackson and
Bobby Brown?
Oh, okay. I don't understand why people are so stuck on it because she wrote about it in her book too. But
yeah,
I guess people don't.
I mean, I was more like, damn, yo, because she was fucking with, you know, the light skinned nigga, the barge nigga.
Yeah.
And you know, that nigga, I know that nigga was like, he had that beige rage after that.
Married.
He probably, like, I know that nigga was mad as shit. But from what I remember about the barge kids, they was some fucking goons.
Yeah, they stay in jail.
Like,
one just got arrested.
I'm about to say,
like, them niggas was goons, so I'm surprised nobody went to go see him. Like, yo, hey, Bobby, let's talk about this shit. Fucking jive cats. Like,
was probably out here fucking niggas up, son.
Oh, and shout out to Simeon Days, who was in the movie from my hometown.
oh, that's what's up. Shout out South Carolina, getting it.
South Carolina.
Shout out South Carolina.
South
Shut your ass up. What you looking for?
Is there any like AC controllers?
No, bro.
Yeah, it is sort of hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Look, y'all bring me on as a guest.
I don't know.
It's
Check
hot.
outside. Ain't nothing in here.
Yeah.
Just check out.
I think it should be outside the door.
Yeah, check outside the door, man. But
We're gonna need to share that fan, okay?
It's a vent right there. I mean,
yeah, it's a vent, but you know, we'll figure that out. Like I feel great because you know I'm dressed accordingly. So just saying. Like I don't come in here trying to be fly all the damn time.
Yeah,
You know,
trust me.
whatever.
come in here Gucci flip flop.
He is the wild retard, man.
Who? Oz?
This guy.
What do you do now?
I don't know.
Retardation.
Sit down, man.
Wait.
Well, yeah, back to like Janet and, but like if she's in the music industry with all these people, like don't everybody fuck somebody they work with? So
Yeah.
she just happened to work with high level A-list celebrity ass niggas, yo.
Bobby was smashing everybody. It
I
didn't
heard.
matter. So, you know,
I heard.
he was
Hey,
just that man.
young, rich, and famous.
You got something to say, Terrell?
Oh no, I'm just kind of
young
moving
regular.
so, you know.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That way when I
Okay.
mix
My
it,
voice,
when I mix
my
it,
voice.
you know.
Okay.
Oh,
Trust me, her voice carry, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, my voice carry.
Trust me. She's been on here before, bro. We know.
That's right. Don't start me shouting it out.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
shout it out for me.
Oh,
She's sober this time. Last time.
Last time she was
She
lit.
was on one last time.
Hell yeah.
like that at
I was like,
Give me that damn dog.
I had two
I
guys.
mean,
Bang,
look,
bitch.
y'all remember, so that means it was
Yeah.
memorable. Did you see that
Like, I just
episode?
lost my dog.
No, she ain't gonna see that episode. She gonna hear that episode.
my mama just died. You need a sex toy? Like, nigga.
Rubber dog.
She like,
Get yourself a tool.
I'm like, damn. But shout out again.
Everybody
that was a classic one right
I mean, shout out to Bobby Brown. Shout out to another person, you know, for a nice little segue. Shout out to motherfucking Colin Kaepernick, yo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we should all give that man a round of applause and
Shout
all
out to
that.
Nike.
Because shout out to Nike. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. They be like, oh, that's Nike getting that brand. I don't give a fuck. It don't matter. Like, let's not look at what you think it might be. Let's just
to the other side.
no, fuck
I
that.
know you are. You always gotta go
I'm
the
gonna go to the
opposite.
other
Well, hold on. They did what they did to make everyone happy because they're under contract with the NFL, so the NFL can't say nothing. So yeah, they're gonna keep paying Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
So they're not woke. They're just like, yeah, let's.
We don't
fucking
think
get
they
this
are.
bread.
I mean, if you
No, that's what people trying to say.
No.
Like,
Okay,
Nike is woke
because-
right now.
no, they're not woke, but they're smart. That's smart
Nike,
business.
they waited till they signed that $5 million deal with, that 5-year deal with the NFL.
And use that
Make
money to
sure
pay
that-
Colin
exactly,
Kaepernick.
but
They
still,
never stopped
what
paying
company
him.
was
It's
gonna
8
do
years.
that? Whatever it is,
They
5,
never
8
stopped
years.
paying him.
But at the end of the day, who else was doing that? You gotta, I'm not saying that it's like a major, but it is a major
It
thing.
is.
Who
No,
else is
my
doing
argument
that?
is saying everybody's like, oh, Nike is about it. They're about the community. Like, yeah,
Honestly,
I always fuck. They do.
I'm gonna keep it
That was
Cause
a
they used to
power
put tournaments
move,
in the
though.
hood all the time. But I'm just saying, like, don't try to make it seem like they made a conscious effort. Like, we're
Who
going to
else
back
did it?
Kaepernick. He's like,
Who
no,
else did
nigga,
what?
y'all never stopped paying in the
Who
first
else did
place.
what?
man.
Who else did it though?
Did what?
Think about it. Who
Well,
else
they-
like
Who
stood?
else did what?
But
They were
at the
always
end of the
paying
day,
him. They were always paying him. They're just admitting to it now. They were always paying him. He never stopped getting paid from Nike. So what do they do?
But what I'm saying is, right now, this climate, the way the climate is right now, it's like hands off Colin. I'm gonna mess up his name.
Kaepernick,
hands off, and they actually put him in a commercial. Actually, now advertising it and then putting it out there, and you have people burning their sneakers. Even though they're not gonna lose any money because their real demographics is the younger people, but they're gonna have a little protest and a little backlash behind it. But I think it's cool that they did it.
Well,
who else is doing it?
They did the same thing for Michael Jordan when they banned his sneakers. When the NBA banned his sneakers, they backed him too.
Of course. How
So
much
Nike's
is
been
Jordan's
doing
cost?
it.
Look how much money
But-
they're making off of Jordans. And always
You're
have.
proving me right. They're doing it for the money.
Yeah, they're a
The
business.
same
at the end
thing.
of
They
the
got
day.
money
Still gonna
off of
lose.
Jordan. They got it off of Colin Kaepernick.
but I think the difference between Jordan and Kaepernick is that Jordan wasn't like protesting anything. He just wanted to, it was just
He just had a president like, nigga, don't buy Jordans. Because you understand for this. Like,
Exactly.
I see what she's saying.
Jordan
It's like I
didn't
don't
lose his
think.
job
Yeah.
because he was standing up for
Exactly.
something.
Because Jordan did his job. Let's not forget
Hold up.
Kaepernick numbers before he got out the NFL. Let's not forget he was
He was
not
playing for
the
somebody,
he wasn't
though.
a runner up for the MVP or nothing.
You don't have to be.
And then he started kneeling like, "Hey,
I'm
Hold
like,
on, hold on,
cut.
hold on.
You don't
hold
have
on,
to.
hold
You
on,
don't
hold on.
have to be.
But that nigga ain't playing. But you got niggas like Josh McCown fucking start for a team. Like, you mean to tell me he's better than Colin Kaepernick?
no, I'm not saying
That's
that.
what I'm saying. So
But I'm just
Kaepernick
saying,
did his job. He
that's
did go
not-
to a
no.
Super Bowl. Let's not
I'm talking
forget.
about
His first year.
Yeah.
Well, it
no.
wasn't
He
first.
started like in the
Nah,
in
he
the
got. He
playoffs.
came in the middle of the season. They benched Alex Smith.
It
He
doesn't
came in
matter.
like a year
A
or two
team
after.
would have picked
Was
him
that his
up.
rookie year?
Nah.
Yeah. It was.
Second.
That was his rookie
That was
year.
the year after.
Second.
It was
The
the
second
Well, they
year
had like
after.
3 games left when he started. Like,
It
it's not
doesn't
like he
matter.
started
You get a
second
ring,
game and he was
regardless.
just
You get a
fucking
ring.
out there doing Willie Beeman and shit.
I've
Like,
been trying to get some ring. People kill me. They always downgrade that. But
But he
everybody's
right.
getting a ring. I don't care if you're killing yourself, breaking your body down. I'm getting that same ring you getting sitting down.
I mean,
so I'm still a winner.
I get what you're saying, Jai, and I agree with you. Let's not all act like Nike's woke. Like they're not.
no, that's my
it's a
argument.
great business
I don't got no
decision,
beef with Colin
but-
Kaepernick. I
but-
fuck with him.
It's a business decision that we can all be like, you know what? They didn't have to really
But
go
they
all
did.
in about it
But
because they're really just going all in about it.
They had all this plan.
I understand that, but they didn't have to do that. Son, it's moments like
Well,
this.
well,
Hold on. Do
miss
you
out
think
on money.
Adidas would have did that, or what else?
If that's what
Adidas-
get bread, yeah,
Well,
they back Kanye, and Kanye said,
They was back him before
slavery
he
is a
even.
fucking.
But okay,
Yeah,
so
that's not
look,
offending
that's
the people.
that's
That's
not
not
offending.
offending-
Yeah, that's
white
not
people.
offending
A
the
larger
white
demographic.
Exactly.
So I'm not worried about that.
Nigga,
Don't
that
even
offended
say
black
that.
people, not white people.
Well, I didn't want to say it like that. But also,
I mean, I'm-
like, it's a money move, but I think just to look at it as that is, in my opinion, a little pessimistic because they don't just stand behind Colin Kaepernick. They were also the first one to create a sports or athletic wear hijab. So they've set a precedence of, yes, we stand behind inclusion. Now, if it makes you money, so be it. But I don't think it was just money. Not to mention, they have huge contracts. They make the boots for the military. So the little piece of change that we spending, I mean, it's money, but I mean, even if we didn't, they ain't going under. Like, they got enough contracts.
But okay, there's two things. Nike, without us, without Jordan, Nike probably would not be where they are right now.
True.
That's for one. So we
But it's
really
not just us that buys it.
No. But it's like saying say you had a mother, right? And you said, well, after she fed me and bathed me all my life, when I get older and I make myself into something, that means a mother didn't matter. In the exception of Nike, right? In my lifetime, Nike wasn't shit really until Jordan came about. That's just facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Adidas, it was all about Adidas and Pumas at that time. Now, it's a money move. They're not woke. I mean, you look at their practices in China and things like who makes their sneakers, people jumping off of roofs. I mean, they're not really about the people. But they did their research and marketing and knew that black people and young people who are not burning sneakers. No one's burning Jordans in those pictures.
Yeah.
No one's burning anything made in the last decade.
They out there burning the Cortez.
They got 20 sneakers in the closet, and they burning the one that their grandfather.
Exactly. Hey, Papa, you still need these?
Hey, why them niggas out there burning them Air Monarchs and shit?
Yeah, they burning those. Kaepernick's like Rosa Parks to me. I mean, many women sat down on buses before Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
She was chosen, selected to be that person.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch and others were sitting down eating bananas on coolers for all their careers.
Yeah.
But Kaepernick was chosen demographically to do a job, right? So, I mean, I applaud anybody taking that stance, but, you know, let's not act like he wasn't one of many taking that stance.
No,
I didn't.
I'm not saying you are. I'm saying that people are gravitating around one individual
because he caught so much flack. Like Marshawn Lynch did. There were many other players doing these things, but how many of them still? Marshawn Lynch was able to come back to the NFL. I mean, he pretty damn bombed
between speaking engagements and this Nike deal, Kaepernick's eating for the rest of his life.
But that's not the principle. It's not about the money. It's the principle
understand,
that matters.
the principle. Look, I want anybody to do their job, whatever their specialty is. I applaud anybody making a stand on anything. But my point is that people are talking about Kaepernick as if he's going to have a problem eating. He's going to make far more money without sacrificing his body and getting those bad stats he did the year before he got than anybody else. Speaking engagements are paying him 6 figures right now.
Well,
he's good.
I've yet to hear anyone speak to, first of all, I don't know anything about NFL stats, I ain't got nothing to say on that. But I've never, from the people that I talk to, I haven't heard anyone speak to, oh, he's not eating or oh, he's not getting money. That's not the issue. What I've heard in the circles that I speak with people on is the reasons behind they can say what they want, but a part of the reason why he was let go is the issue. That is the issue. And of course he gonna eat, because I mean he was on Time Magazine, like he gonna make his money, like of course. But it's the principle, money or no money, this man has a right to stand up for what he wants, for what he believes in, and he shouldn't be fired because of it. Stats and no stats.
Don't do it.
We're not attacking Colin Kaepernick.
That's not what I said. All I said was it's not about the money. That's what I said. He made the statement that everybody's talking about this man isn't going to eat. What I said was it's not about the money.
It's not about the money. It's not the Kaepernick part.
Yeah.
But Nike's like, I see some dollar signs over there. Go sweep that up. Bring that over here. Like
well, let me just add this. Well, let me just add this.
Speaking to the microphone so we can hear you.
My voice carries. Exactly.
But don't be scared of
let
that
me just don't start me. Don't start me, please.
That with 2 hands.
No, 1 hand. I don't need 2.
What kind of niggas you fuck with?
You might not need none at all. That's how good you are.
Don't start me. Don't start me.
I wonder how many hands Colin needs. Like, can we?
What I was saying was, just like the other players, we're gonna stand behind him. The other NFL players. As soon as they start talking about fining and people losing their jobs, they stood up. All of that, we standing behind you. They quickly got off their knee. He never did that, and I give that to him. He stood by his principles. I mean, everybody else was rah, 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 but when it came down to it, and the owner started saying, "Get your asses up."
Yeah, because niggas got to pay them Bentley bills.
But what I'm saying is, he didn't do that.
Le'Veon Bell, he held out in practice. They was like, "Fuck that nigga," but we support him. Like, nigga, you can't say fuck him and support him.
Yeah,
you don't have to come to practice, nigga.
But he didn't
fuck
have
you, you bitch ass nigga. Like, wow, like, niggas is angry over there in the Steeler land.
I wouldn't agree with that either, because speaking of the Bennett brothers, Martellus Bennett, they wrote him so hard they actually had him on an assault charge from like a year before. He was one of the primary protesters going on Democracy Now! And other stations talking about the issues. The issues are important. I think the issues are quite important. But again, if you select one person to be the head of a movement, you dilute the strength of the movement, because it's like she thinks that other players weren't doing that, even though other players beyond the owner saying what they said and Trump saying what they said still did not. So when you see that in the media, you have to be wary of it when they select one person. Not that he did it, but that.
So why are they still working and he's? I'm not saying he's not. Why
the other people are not working. Eric Reed, Martellus Bennett, whoever you want to talk about, other players are not working in NFL as well. Some on his team, like a lot of times it was 3 people on his 49ers bench kneeling with him, right? Mm-hmm. At least 2, sometimes 1. Wasn't necessarily by himself. But my thing is that it is important. It is an important issue. But I will leave it at it's an issue for a lot of people. He did a great thing, like others did a great thing. But when you make one person a face of something so large, it actually minimizes, disempowers the strength of what it could be.
Now, I would say, like, as a business move, I think they did that for Colin Kaepernick because he's looked at as the face from everybody. Now, if they'd have went to Martellus Bennett or somebody like that, who's people are going to be like, well, why didn't you go to Kaepernick, who was the originator? He was doing it before any of them. So you should put him out first. And if people follow that, then we can bring other people into it and bring a movement into it. But you start with the head of the snake. And then I think they'll probably, I wouldn't be surprised if they did have Martellus Bennett or Ed Reed and other campaigns that coincide with what they're doing with Kaepernick. But I think they wanted to pick him out first because he's looked at as the face of that movement.
He's the most
as a business
polarizing.
move, you know what I'm saying?
Not only that, but like you gotta look at like how relatable are these people to a wide range, to a wide group. So while I agree with what you said, like you can't making the movement more personalized than just one person does dilute it. However, in order for the rest of the world to understand it, it's easier when you put a face to it. It's one thing when people were thinking, oh, they're making these tired people, they gotta go to the back, blah, blah, blah. It was very abstract. But the moment you see Rosa Parks and you say, oh, look at this lady, she looks so tired, she had to get up, then they can put a face to it, they can see the emotion that goes behind it. So it's a give and take thing. Now, who they chose, it definitely has a lot to do with his background. Like, he's mixed. So he can appeal to different audiences. You know what I'm saying? So more than just, because we can't just appeal to our community because we know that there's an issue.
Yeah.
But us knowing by ourselves isn't enough to make a difference. You got to appeal to other communities as well. And I think that Colin Kaepernick is ambiguous enough to do that.
Well
Yeah,
said.
he's like super, and he got this perfect fro.
It is perfect.
That fro is crazy. That was
Half fro, bro.
I never seen half black, half white kid with just the
Listen,
Jew fro crazy.
I mean, it's just the right amount of black and white.
It's like somebody cut it with like a fucking ruler. And it's just like, somebody pay attention when they cut his hair, 'cause that shit is a perfect circle. Like, I can't even draw a circle that perfect.
Shout out to Captain Alpha Psi because he is a member of that fraternity.
But I just want to know, like, with the whole Kaepernick thing, what is it going to take for people to finally realize and put this whole military shit bullshit aside?
It's not.
They don't never talk about the
It's a
issue.
distraction.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, when are they going to put that military bullshit to the side? Because, and I want to ask you a question, because I seen a post on Facebook where it was a guy, he was talking about he served 11 years in the military, did like some sort, and he said he come to America still get called a nigger.
Yeah.
So when he's in the military uniform, y'all want to applaud veterans, but when he take that shit off, he's just another nigga on the street to you.
Yeah.
Basically.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's the same like while you're still inside. Like it's still kinda low key racism in the military and people know it, but like like that shit feel crazy. Like you got a motherfucker who ain't never did nothing for the country in their life but take. But they see you, oh nigga, like, you know what I did, how much I did this morning before 11 o'clock, bitch? And you just, you know what I'm saying, like,
right.
shit like that. But yeah, that goes on crazy.
Now, what about the whole, like, well, we already knew what Trump was going to say. He was going to say his little bullshit, so.
I know.
Next.
Bro,
This is my whole thing. Like, all right, and we're gonna address. I'm addressing the protesters that are boycotting Nike and wearing Converses at the same time. Like, fuck Nike. Like, dude, Nike owns Converse.
Right.
So many fucking companies.
There's no way you can put that.
Skechers, like, I'm gonna wear my Skechers. Like, my little Heelys. Like,
the ass.
stupid ass. It's still fucking Nike, yo.
Well, first of all, white people don't know how to boycott shit. Black people be like, we're going to boycott this shit. We ain't buying it again. These motherfuckers have some shit they already bought, burn it, and act like they doing something. Like, you already got your money, fucker. They don't give a fuck if you burn this shit.
I say that shit all the
They're not
time. Nobody.
consistent.
Boycotting doesn't work because it's like these big conglomerates that fucking you can boycott a mom and pop shop because they called you a nigga like, hey, we don't eat that no more. They need your dollars.
Yeah.
Now you can't boycott Walmart like, fuck you Walmart. Like, all right, we'll shut your little town down.
You
like nobody got jobs, and now you got to shop at Target where it's wild expensive. So now you're like, oh yeah, we kind of fucked ourselves. Like boycotting doesn't work anymore because it's so much money already out there.
I agree. So like a lot of the I think the tactics that were used with the civil rights movement in the 1960s, and even before during the Reconstruction period, that can't be done now because of these large conglomerates. Like, they don't care if they don't get your dollars. Like,
No, well, they're gonna get your dollars anyway.
and they gonna get your dollars anyway, because
Yeah.
somehow, some way, they still own. They all own each other. Like,
And
they
that's-
just work together. So.
And that's what I was saying, like we're gonna take it back to Orange Face. Like, that's what I'm saying, like, that's how he won, because he does business with so many people who won't admit it. They're not gonna
Sorry.
admit that he,
Yeah, but I didn't, your phone.
they're not gonna admit that they voted for Trump.
Made sure.
But they still gonna get that bread at the end of the day because they do business with him. And
Yeah.
that's why I kept saying, like, I feel like that's how he won, because people are like, fuck that guy.
It's like they
But
make
stock went up,
most of
so.
these like big companies and stuff. They make everything kind of like a need. So it's like you can't really live without the certain things that they provide. So even if you try and boycott it, the next day you can be like, oh shit, man, you know, I need to go get me some from Walmart, you know, or like, you know, it's like there's nothing else to go to at that point because they're so big. They basically own everything. So it's like you can't really boycott them because you also need to go to them to get stuff that you personally need at the same time.
It was better when I said it.
Shut up.
Just repeated what the fuck I just said.
Yeah, you
I wasn't
kinda
listening.
did. I just want to go back to that.
That's what he said.
I was thinking the same thing. I want to go back to the fake patriotism. How come a lot of these people are going to using the veterans in the military as an attack to Kaepernick, but they'll walk past a homeless veteran who asks for change, and they won't even do shit. They haven't done it. They haven't went to a VA hospital to visit a veteran. They haven't done anything for veterans, but they try to hide behind their fake patriotism of the military instead of talking about the real issue of what he originally knelt for in the first place. That shit is stupid.
Because they always just one thing to go to the boycotting thing just for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
The reason the bus boycott worked is because Emmett Till was killed. When Emmett Till was killed, that made the bus boycott. That inspired her to sit down in the first place. So it wouldn't have happened without it. Like, historically, when that occurred, that put fire in the bellies of the people to make that last for a year and a half. Then that worked. They tried boycotting before, but people were still going into stores like Woolworths, stuff like that. But that's kind of how that happened. But you know what? As far as the fake patriotism, they always think it's all about loyalty to the country. They always feel like we're not loyal to the country. There's always something within us that hates them. So when you hear you don't like the military, you don't like the flag, it's like somebody making you, well, stand for that flag because I know you're with us. Because if you don't stand for the flag, I already know you hate us, and that's proof to me. So that's how they think. And, I had this conversation with Lee before. We talked about the fact that's really what it's about. Like, they just don't. It's like what the song's about in the first place. It was all about our leaving the War of 1812 and some was going to England, fighting for England, and not.
You talking about that Francis Scott Key stanza?
Yeah, that was the stanza. It was about.
Context for people in there.
Yeah, it was about the
What you gotta say, Oz? Shut up.
it was more about that. So that's a short answer for that.
Yeah, and kind of the same thing is like all like it's like.
Hey, write down your thoughts.
I drank some alcohol for it.
You was on the wrong man.
Go ahead, Oz. Okay, so America basically claims that we're a country full of like different breeds of people and all that kind of stuff, but then at the same time, they don't want us to follow anything else at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's like America wants to proclaim saying like, oh, we accept all cultures and all this, but at the same time, it's like we are number one. Follow what we say, do what we tell you to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we America. Fuck that. Better listen to this goddamn country. Blow your shit up.
Yeah, that too. A couple points. So the fake patriotism. It's always easier to mask like racism and being a bigot when you can put it under something that everybody else can tack onto. So in this climate where there are a lot of even our allies that are somewhat against us, thanks to Trump, it's very easy to say, oh, well, you're not a patriot because you're not standing for this or you're not doing that, and we feel the need to cling, or some Americans feel the need to cling to that. But I feel like those issues only come about when it's not a white man speaking, if I'm being frank. Like, not even a white woman or whatever, but a white man speaking.
Yeah.
Because the moment someone protests something that a white man says or does, then it's, oh, well, we have freedom of speech. It's always freedom of speech. And what people fail to realize is the caveat behind freedom of speech is, yes, you have that unless you incite violence or a riot of some sort. And then you do not get that freedom of speech. But people they always forget that part. Like, it's just, oh, I get to say what I want to say. But while you get to say what you want to say, there's consequences to what you say. There's consequences to what you do.
Damn face.
That's a possible consequence. So that's to that point. And I definitely agree with you. Like, Emmett Till death definitely made the difference, and it's sad. But any change that we've ever seen in America, and I would venture to say in any government, even outside of this country, it came from bloodshed. Like I always say, people always want to put MLK on a pedestal, and he was definitely great at what he did, but he would not have been as effective if Malcolm X wasn't there. Because it was either deal with this peaceful nigga or deal with this rowdy nigga. So who you gonna deal with?
Yeah,
like you need one of them. You need both. You need both for change to happen. Now I'm not saying go be out here with the AKs. Can't really do shit like that. But
yeah, exactly. Stop pointing at each other.
That too. Stop pointing at each other.
Stop fucking fighting each other.
Yeah, definitely. And then one more thing. Sorry, one more thing. What you said, there were different breeds or different races in America. So I think a lot of times we want to compare our patriotism to other countries. And the biggest difference with us and other countries is no other country has the hodgepodge of races that we have here, right? So there's never, we are made up of immigrants from top to bottom. You don't have that issue in other countries. People can trace their ancestries back in those countries, in Germany, in Scandinavia, wherever. You understand that even if there's a sprinkle of black here or there, they still identify as a countryman because they can trace their ancestors back. We're not that way. So not only do we have different races, different immigrants, but we also have the burden of slavery being in our history too, which has shaped how people view race or people of a darker color. So all of that contributes to us not being able to like come together as a country, I guess, or as Americans, like.
That is well spoken.
It was. I want to piggyback off of something she said about the freedom of speech thing. I have a problem with people who. Okay, I'm gonna put it like this. We have Latinos, we have women, like the women's suffrage. Black people fought for civil rights. Pretty much every demographic has had to fight for something in this country where they feel like their life was on the line or their rights were uncivilized, except for the white male. So how is it that you, as a white male, who never had the only impression you had was you were paying taxes to England when we were America, but your life was never on the line. You were never forced labor. You were never any of this. So how is it that people like that can tell people who have felt oppression how to protest? That's the thing I have a problem with. When and where and how to protest.
They can't.
And they haven't been through anything. They haven't been oppressed in any type of way in this country to tell other people when, where, or how they should protest.
You know what that's
the
called,
thing
right?
They believe in.
That's called white privilege.
Absolutely.
That's you literally like describe what white privilege is. That's what it is. For them to feel like they can tell you whatever it is that you can and can't do, and then they can still feel like the victim in some type of way. Because it's weird, because they'll, oh, why can't we say the N-word? Y'all call us crackers. I'm like, because cracker is not a fucking derogatory term, dog. Like, that shit ain't never...
No white man has ever been called a cracker. Like, oh, that shit just ruined my life.
I never heard that term.
I'm going home.
Done.
Yeah.
Like,
but
never gotten...
So they feel, I think that they feel like, I'm only saying this because I saw this, some episode, some show or whatever, but there was a black man and a white supremacist that sat down and basically had dinner together and tried to communicate. But
hate thy neighbor?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think that was it. Yeah, but I think the reason that they feel like a victim is because if for so long you've had the majority of the pie and you have to give up a piece of that pie. No, I'm just saying, like, and you have to give up a piece of that pie, like if you have to take out of your own mouth to give to somebody else, even if it's gonna be equal, it's gonna seem unfair to you because this is the way it's always been.
Wow. So it's basically like
and if we were in that position, if because there's a movie like that, if the roles were switched and we were in that position, I don't see us wanting to give up. I don't see the majority of us wanting to give up a piece of that pie either. We fight for equality because we don't have it.
If the roles were reversed, they would have probably massacred everybody already.
Maybe so.
And they already are, like you were saying before, like the idea that it's like a child that's always been like the black sheep of the family. Excuse that word. and a child that's been spoiled all their lives. In the same
like
family,
only child,
in the same family,
around.
right? Same family. Let the parents switch that up with the spoiled child.
Mm-hmm.
That child will not be able to handle it. But the one who's always been squandered about is going to be able to handle the adversity better.
But usually, when you get older,
Speaking to the mic.
but usually when that happens in any family, when you get older, the child that was spoiled, the child that was given everything, when push comes to shove, they're not able to survive, and the child that wasn't actually turns out to be better, but turns out that life turns out to be a little bit better than a spoiled child. So
That's not true.
for the most part, it happens.
I'm
that way.
spoiled, and I hold my own. I've been living my own for a long time.
And you know
handling
what?
shit. I'm the only boy.
Well,
But
and,
that's because you're the only boy.
in
Exactly.
a larger term, like if white people are so accustomed to living this privileged life, then to live without it would be difficult for them. So I could understand why they would be why they would want to keep it, why they would fight so
If
hard
I
to keep
knew
it. Like,
my great grandfather had slaves and I can't have, I'd be like, that's some bullshit.
what the fuck?
I want some slaves too.
Right.
Goddamn
Of course. No, but honestly,
Like,
no,
yo,
you're right though.
all.
No, that's right. No, seriously, that's really how they be
that's
looking at it.
fucked
They be
up,
looking like, well, goddamn it, my daddy and them had all this land and slaves and this and that, and then I gotta go out here and actually work and do
No,
this and
I
that.
think
Like,
the
a lot of
new
them
age
motherfuckers
thing
feel
is
that
just
way.
in the
Like,
past. It
I
didn't
gotta go out
happen
here
to
and break
you.
my back. You talking crazy now, but just only 100 years ago, you would have been able to talk to me like this. I'd sling your black ass up. That's what they're looking at you saying in their head. So they gotta swallow that. Like,
and that's the whole issue with the word nigga,
They gotta
because
swallow
they that's a word that they can't
Y'all
control. We
read
control
it out.
that. We control the
y'all
narrative.
use it way more than anybody else.
The white man has never had been told no by anybody else in this country's history.
Now they mad.
Right.
Because I used to be able to say nigga, but I can't.
Right.
God damn it, that's bullshit. That's like saying, hey.
Like you slap me.
We want you to listen to white people. We're not.
Oh no, we're not. Look,
We're just pro-black. We're not.
Oh no,
anti-white.
we always tell our white listeners like, we ain't got nothing against them. Yo. We talking
We're talking about the people who got a problem with the whole. We talking about the whole Kaepernick thing.
We're talking about ignorant. We're talking about the ignorant ones. Like people, we're not attacking white people because we don't.
Because white people, a lot of people, white people in the civil rights movement, like they were behind us and they wanted to see us have equal rights. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, white people. I ain't got nothing against them. I got something against ignorant white people who want to continue to oppress us. And my biggest thing is, all right, like back to with the whole patriotism and this and that. Like they still, for some odd reason, have not listened to what it is.
Right.
So then when you tell them, and then we'll say, hey, it's because the police are killing brown and black people, and they're not being tried, to the extent of the law, whatever it is, and they're getting off. And first thing they thought, well, black people kill each other. So I'm like, bro, the fuck does have to do with anything?
Like,
I'm like, bro. I'm like, look, we kill each other.
I was like, white people kill each other all the time.
There's a guy on my Facebook page.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm not gonna say his name, but if I was to post something like,
I know
a white guy does a mass shooting of like 300 people, like how sad and tragic.
Genocide.
I'm just saying, like how let's say a mass shooting of 20 people.
Okay, I was gonna say.
One
person you kill 300 people. That's Rambo.
You need a statue or some shit like that. You put a post on and say that's very sad to see.
Yeah.
He'll comment and be like, well, what about the killings in Chicago? Chicago's got the worst shootings in the world right now, whatever. Oh, and 1,400 people died in the last couple of months. What do you got to say about that? You don't think that's a problem?
Like we do.
I said, but we do, and that's terrible. That's a tragedy, and we gotta do something about that. So you say you don't care about that? I'm like, okay, bro.
When you talk to him, you gotta ask him, what conversation are you having?
Right.
You're having a completely different conversation.
He deflects. I've seen that.
Listen, I think the worst thing that happened to us as far as violence is a term that was coined in the media as far as black on black crime. We the only ethnicity that has that term. They never say white on white crime or the black or Latino on Latino crime or Mexican on Mexican crime.
No, they don't.
So they always say black on black crime. So it ingrains in people's mind that we only out here killing each other, and when other people do it, it just gets swept under the rug. But they highlight black on black crime because it's a term that's been ingrained in America's minds as a real thing when they ignore other ethnicities' crimes against each other. We're the only ethnic group that has a term coined for us killing each other. No other ethnic group in America has.
I never heard Chinese on Chinese.
Exactly, right. That's what I'm saying.
And Yakuzas be chopping people the fuck up. So.
They do, but they don't talk about it. We don't never hear about it.
I heard Chinese on dogs, but I never heard.
Yo, them Indians, they dangerous too.
Alright, man. So you was doing
What
else?
and I was just saying in the background, like, it's just the law of proximity. Like, you're more likely to kill someone that you know. Not a lot of people just kill random people. So if you live in the proximity
I know ethnicity that does, but
moving forward, if you live in a certain proximity, you're more likely to be killed by those people around you. Like,
I feel like some of these motherfuckers, they go out their way to come go kill other people. And I'm like, bruh, you know,
I mean, yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing in this neighborhood? Fuck these niggers.
Not as like,
okay.
those are not as
they wake up in the morning and lock their door and build bombs and shit. Like, you're not building a bomb. Holding your crib.
And you know, I got a good example for that. We had something just in Rock Hill, at my alma mater. Shout out to Northwestern High. There was like a kid. They found that he was about to shoot up the school. So that bothers me a lot because again, that's my alma mater. It's Rock Hill. Like we known for football. We're not known for violence and shit like that. Like even if we do be. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
That nigga about to go down the list.
Yeah.
What?
Like, come on, son. Like, let's not do that. Yeah, let's not do that. But, yeah, whatever. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, the dude, I think he was a Latino dude over there. Like, he just going in there to go shoot up the shit, right? Now, they say whatever it is. And, you know, well, first thing, I ain't gonna lie. When I saw the picture of the dude, I'm like, that nigga does not need to be in school. They say he 18. I'm like, bro, he look about 40. Damn. Like, he got a full mustache and shit. I was like, damn, this nigga look wild. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers are going out their way to do shit like that, right? Like, we're not doing that shit. Like, I'm not saying that we're not killing each other, but we're not going out of our way to go shoot and kill each other in different, you know, communities. Like, motherfucker Ray ain't never left the hood to go, yeah, I'm gonna go to the suburb and go kill some white people. Like, that's never happened.
And the famous words of Lil Jon, don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
Yeah, but you see now, really, the crazy part that's coming on right now is like, it's starting to become a trend.
What do you mean?
Like, the mass, it is a trend. Like, the whole mass shooting thing wasn't really a thing back, like, way back in, it happened, don't get me wrong, but I feel like more people are focused on doing it because social media is like,
no, you're right.
I'm like,
I don't remember the first really mass shooting I remember was like Columbine and like was that 89 or 90?
Well, y'all, if we're gonna just leave it at shooting, then yeah, but you gotta remember there's always been mass attacks. Like that's always been around, but we didn't have social media back in there. You know, you gotta remember
the Oklahoma City bombing.
Like those were all mass attacks. Like if you just focus on shooting, of course, but it's been mass attacks for years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just now got social media where you can see that shit like just like that.
But yeah, like see, I feel like those were more like terrorist kind of things.
This is terrorist too.
Yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong, it is. But the thing is, like, I feel like the school shooting specifically is like in its own thing. Like school shootings.
Sometimes it's the bullying thing.
Okay,
yeah, that too. That
shootings.
School shootings is really becoming a trend. Because everybody's like, I'm gonna shoot my kid.
They're like hardcore drug heads, whether people want to admit it or not. But it's a problem. Yeah, it's a problem when certain races.
Go ahead, Joe.
That's why I said it to set them off.
Opioids is a trigger word. No.
Oh boy, I'm about to teach these doubles today. That's the key we heard word of the day.
I'll say, you know, being in education in New York for many years, what people might not realize is the Ritalin and other drugs that they were giving children.
Yes.
Special education children, particularly black children, has a direct effect on homicidal behavior, suicidal behavior. So these suicidal songs and murder rates, we've done studies on that. So it's not necessarily the harder drugs like that, but it's the drugs that parents are signing up for children to take to make them, you know, slower and more docile, right? Yeah. So that's kind of what was happening. But to the point of mass shootings, whether you're talking about, you know, the Rosewood massacres or the massacres that happened in North Carolina that took down, you know, the black business districts in Durham or Black Wall Street, it's still the same type of mentality to massacre people.
Exactly.
You know, whether it's Native Americans, Native peoples, and everything like that. So I feel that It's nothing new. Unfortunately, I don't feel it's all about race, except that these events are real and it's about the minds of certain people. Yeah. It's not about race, but a lot of white people really believe that they did own slaves, but only 1% of white people own slaves.
The rest were sharecroppers.
You know, and the people that you saw outside the plantations, we actually lived better. As far as we were taken care of better on a plantation because they needed us to work than the people who lived outside of that plantation. Like if you read the narratives, a lot of us had 4 or 5 acres to ourselves, depending on what your situation was. Yeah. Some slaves they were actually slaves, but they had 4 or 5 acres to themselves. And then some slaves, you read the slave narratives, it was horrific.
Yeah,
there was one quick story. One slave, one slave master, one male slave. The male slave runs away to marry a girl. The slave master comes and brings him back. He goes again. The slave master makes him cut off the girl's neck and dump her body in the Mississippi River. So there's all kinds of slaves, and everyone wasn't in the same situation. So it's like when you see some slaves didn't want it to end, some slaves wanted it to end, because really for some of them, after the Civil War was a big drop in their lifestyle and comfortability and family structure, depending on what the situation was.
I want to piggyback on something that Oz said, and I don't want to scare nobody. I'm just prefacing this, but it's something that I foreshadow that could be a major problem that was in the news, but I don't think people are taking it seriously enough. And that's with 3D printed guns that were released over the internet. You can print a gun from home without having to go to a store or any kind of paperwork, and it's untraceable.
That's crazy.
You know, that's crazy. Like, somebody can get a gun from their laptop, print a gun at home, and go kill a bunch of motherfuckers with no fingerprints, no trace, no serial number on the gun or anything. And I think, like you were saying, that some people can look at it as a trend and want to be infamous in the news for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? There's some sick people out there. And I just think that 3D printed guns can be another tool for people to, I hate to say it, but highlight or accentuate the fact that, you know, mass shootings are becoming a thing. You know, it started with Columbine, and we don't know how far this thing gonna go. It just keeps evolving into more dangerous territory as time goes by. And I hate to see it go down that road, but I think that's something that could potentially be very dangerous for the future.
I think the robots should take over.
It's not. It's not. It's not legal.
So
they banned it.
It is. You can buy it in the alley.
You can't even sell the blueprints.
So you don't even have to go through that.
But I also think it's important because we make I think all, if not most, of the mass shootings are like Caucasian male boys or Caucasian males.
We had somebody here before, they did not believe us. I'm like, okay.
However, it's also important to understand the access to resources. So someone who can print a 3D gun, they gotta have some top-notch equipment in their house. Yeah, I don't see Ray from the hood with that top-notch equipment. So
you know what? Because if he did, he probably trying to be a rapper. So he's like, fuck
all it takes is one person with top-notch equipment who can give it to 300 people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying like
nobody in the hood got that.
Currently, these mass shootings with all the guns
that
they're walking in.
I ain't want to say who is doing it. I'm just saying like.
Let's stop tiptoeing this shit, son.
Oh Lord.
Tiptoe.
So it's not just about it's not just like these are because they're white, they're the ones that are doing this.
Yeah.
No, it's because it's partially because they have access to these crazy ass weapons in their house, which is something totally different. And then to the comment about the Ritalin and the different drugs like that, like I completely agree with you. I really don't think kids should get those kinds of drugs, especially before they hit puberty. Like, I think it just messes them up completely. But not only that, because my older brother, they tried to say that he was like, I don't think they had ADHD back then. I don't think that was
they did.
But he was hyper. So they wanted to give him Ritalin. My mom was like, no, like, just give him work to do. He's bored. So the issue is not that it's a cultural difference. So when teachers come into these different schools and they don't understand the backgrounds that they come from, and they say, oh, well, I think this child has ADHD, he needs to be on drugs, as opposed to let me understand the background that this child comes from. Let me understand what interests this child, because it may be that he doesn't want to read this book about the evolution of man. He may just be interested in art.
Yes.
So.
But you would have to do that for every child
which
in
is
the class.
why it should be a small class size.
Yes. But let me go back on the whole gun thing though.
Yeah,
like
we ain't gonna say too much on this shit. We got other shit to talk about.
Yeah. Like the issue with the 3D printed gun is like for minorities and stuff, it's not gonna be as accessible as it is to like other other like races. But the thing is, it's only gonna get cheaper.
That's what I was about to say.
I think that's what Josh was trying to say.
It's like a 4K TV. When it first came out, it was
why y'all talking
$4,000
about
down.
I get that, but
like when TVs first came out.
No problem.
Yeah, but when TVs first came out, they were like extremely expensive. But now everybody has it. Soon it's gonna be like, oh, you're gonna have a 3D printer right on your desk or something like you paid like $30.
That's what I was getting at.
That's what Josh is really talking about.
Yeah.
But enough about that. That's something.
Eminem is killing everybody out here.
I was gonna say we gotta talk about that or Aretha Franklin, so either one.
Eminem. I
We're
love
talking
Eminem.
about Eminem building and destroying right now.
Now, did you hear? I didn't hear the album, but I did hear Joe Budden's podcast when he was talking about how he felt about the Eminem disc.
The album's dope.
Album's dope. I like it. Good, better than the last one.
Like Joe Budden. This is my thing about Joe Budden.
It was very.
He'll pop shit, apologize. Like he'll pop shit and like, oh well, I meant it this way. Like, no, shut up, nigga. You said some foul shit, and now he's calling you out, and now you, I'm retired. I'm not gonna pull my pen out. Like, shut up, nigga. Like you couldn't be Hollow the Don, who is a smack rapper.
I liked a lot of shit he said, but when he said, Eminem, I've been better than you this whole fucking decade, that's where he lost me.
He don't have
He
no
lost me
proof.
right there. And then Joe Budden
But
said he
he's
was better
supposed
than
to say that.
Eminem.
What else
I am
is he
a
supposed
content
to do?
He has no
person.
proof.
You don't have no content. Like, yo, shut up, Joe Budden.
Now he did kind of have a point because Eminem do sometimes just rhyme without
But
any.
he
But
But
that's
he
what
does
he
it
does.
without
He's
thinking.
a rapper.
He's a lyricist.
His job is to like. That's why he does stuff like he don't care. Like when you see like when he used to do the Slim Shady shit, he changed his voice and do all kind of things. He's showing off his skill that I can rap different ways, different. All
We've
kind
already
of
seen
stuff.
that though. Like,
What else? What the fuck else you want?
I'm about to say,
Joe,
Wayne
you-
been doing the same
You want to
shit
see what
too.
Joe Budden got to do? He cried.
hell no.
Hold on. It matters when you rap that you make fucking sense, right? That it has you're building to something, right? Again, Eminem, because he's Caucasian, gets a graded curve on his raps. But if you listen to his music, right, for the last however many years, he really isn't. He's saying a lot of words.
He really do.
He's changing his voice, but what is he talking about?
That's what Joe was saying.
Like, what is he talking about?
Disagree.
Okay,
No, I mean,
tell me, give me a song.
What was his
I
last
understand.
dope album that you listened
I
to?
understand.
We talked about his story
But
and
he
stuff.
just
When
said
it
over
came
his
out.
career and
Okay, well.
Okay, name a Joe Budden album you listen to all the way
Exactly.
through.
First of all, I never said I was a Joe Budden fan.
Okay, then you going mad hard right now.
I'm just
Actually,
saying.
I'm not debating Joe
I'm about
Budden.
to piggyback off of what he just said because let's keep it funky. Eminem really do just be rhyming a bunch of words.
Yeah,
That's what
Yeah.
And
you're
that's
supposed to do.
that's
No,
cool,
that's
but
not what he's supposed to do.
there's no sometimes
Absolutely
no,
not.
no.
Everybody's not Nas. I don't want to hear
Son,
Nas all the fucking time.
We're not talking about that. You're not getting what we're saying. We're
No, I know
saying
exactly what you're saying.
what am I saying?
well,
Son, I don't want to hear Nas all the fucking time.
That's not what I'm saying.
Nah,
That's what you said.
No, I'm not. Let me say it
You
first.
trying to say, oh, you
Jai.
have no content.
No,
He has
Ajay, let
content.
me finish what I'm saying first. That has
Okay.
nothing to do with.
punchlines.
I don't need him to be deep or nothing like that, but you don't even have a point of what you're rapping about. It's just this. No, this is what he'll do.
What song do you listen to?
He's like,
I'm a little confused.
like rapping a hat, cat in a hat, right? Tappity tap, hat, right? I'm like, son, what do you? I'm like, what? Do you,
Son, he has songs about relationships. He has songs about his
daughter.
daughter. About
He has
his
songs
wife.
about
and
being on
that's
drugs.
fine.
You
But
already
for
said
the
that,
most
so that's
part,
why he's
what we
evolving.
kind
Clean
of
out my
hear.
closet. Fucking
Yeah, I
the shit he had for
understand.
8 Mile. Like, come on,
Exactly.
he has content.
But hold
Y'all
on.
not listening to what the fuck he
No,
said.
Joe
we
Budden,
are listening.
now, going back to what Joe Budden said, he said over the last decade, that goes back to 2008. Those shits came out in 2004,
Exactly.
3. Like, we heard
Okay,
all
well,
this
let's
shit.
go back to
You can't
Joe
say
Budden.
you're the
They
greatest
Yeah.
from this time, but I'm better than you from this time.
We're-
We're
but
talking about
no,
this
no,
time.
no.
I'm talking about clearly.
That's
I'm
not
talking
what we're
about Joe
talking
Budden
about.
can't fuck with Eminem at all at any century,
that's-
at
okay.
any time of.
And that's why he said you don't have content, because that was his biggest argument. What was his comeback?
He put out an album every 4 years or something. So
Okay.
you're gonna you basically grade him on the last 3 albums. Yeah, he had a couple of trash albums. Yeah, you got a lot more trash albums.
And that's
So how you
fine.
gonna come at somebody?
Because
Come on, who listens to mood music? When the last time
But
you
you,
listened to
but
music?
at the end
Anybody,
of the
raise
day,
your
Jai,
hand.
it's
Listen
all
to who?
opinions, right? And he's entitled to his opinion.
That's his
Yeah, I'm not saying
platform,
it's not.
that's-
I'm saying my opinion. Y'all telling me
Exactly.
my opinion is wrong.
No, we're not.
Why we can disagree with your opinion?
Exactly.
You
ain't gotta argue a point. There's nothing to argue. I mean, at the end of the day,
why didn't anyone respond yet?
What?
Why didn't anyone respond to him?
Yeah,
they did.
But she enjoyed Kelly.
It was
that shit
trash,
wasn't trash.
but
It was
it's
okay.
not.
I like
You need way more than that to.
That shit.
I like that.
I'm sorry. I
Because
didn't.
the reason why I said I liked it because he didn't just he gave the reasons why he was beefing with Eminem. He talked about the tweet from 2012. He said how he felt about Eminem.
It still gave him respect.
He still gave him respect. He said you're the GOAT.
I don't like that. I'm from the
Nah, I didn't agree with the
GOAT.
GOAT
Somebody
part.
like, hey, you're the best, but fuck you. Like, no, nigga, keep it
No,
the
he's
same
telling
energy the whole song.
Actually, I
Fuck me.
I heard about that tweet, and Eminem had all rights to say what he said about that shit because he had said like, yo, he was talking about his daughter telling him you hot. Yo, at that time, his daughter was like 15, 16, or something like 14 years old. Like, son, that's
violation.
He can say whatever the fuck he can say about you then. Like, son, you violated.
Okay, but he's saying, but his whole point was, okay, you said that, but you bringing it back up 6 years later. You said it, it's dead, but you bringing it back up, and you putting it on the album, and you trying to put my name on it. I can understand that shit. Why he wanted to get up? Like, you gonna bring us some shit up from 6 years ago? Now when you have an album,
ain't no statute
that's why they had
with
the
beats,
intro.
dog.
That's why you got to listen to the album.
responding either.
You gotta have. That's why you gotta listen to the album. He had an intro where his manager is calling him like, "Yo, you can't do a whole album about
dissing people,
just airing people out. Like the whole album is about, all right, y'all had all this shit to say. It's my turn to speak." He was letting all this shit build up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you said this. What you got to say? All right.
Because he was like, yo, you can't do a kamikaze and then do a kamikaze
that's why I call
too.
it kamikaze. Yeah. Because he's just coming back like, all right, well, even if I gotta fuck myself up, I'm letting y'all have it. Like everybody had their little thing to say, from tweets to interviews. Everybody want to speak on Eminem. Like, yeah, a lot of people was like, yeah, this last album was trash. It was trash.
It was.
All right, so my album was trash. I'm gonna go ahead and just let everybody know what I feel about shit going on. And that's
so
the whole album.
ain't no statute of limitations. So if he make an album about motherfuckers who was bullying him in high school, you want to hear that shit?
Yeah.
Fuck for what?
If it led up to who he is today, I would want to hear it.
I don't want to hear that shit about no fucking people bullying you in high school. What the fuck?
So you listen to people that talk about how they used to sell drugs.
Yeah. We used to be.
A lot of niggas still do that shit though.
Most of them don't.
No, they
No,
don't. They
they
never
don't.
did it in the first place.
Most of
I'm
them
like,
don't.
act like
Most of them never did it in the
Jeezy
first
ain't
place.
selling no more
I'm
drugs.
about to say.
Nah, bro.
I feel like the
I
real
rather,
kids
ain't
rappers
something.
like I
not
said,
gonna
like she said, if it led up to who you are today, I want to hear your story.
I want to hear how Bill Gates grew up. If it led up to who he is today, let me hear what happened. What you do? That made you a.
Like shit
Because
happened,
these
bro.
niggas just show up on the scene
Exactly.
now already rich. I'm a millionaire, bitch.
Yeah.
Nigga, you just got a mixtape.
Well, you already know how I feel about these new rappers. So
Exactly.
You already know how I
He
feel.
dissed them
Fuck
too.
out of
He
here.
got rap with
He
me.
dissed them, motherfucker.
And I shoot them all at one time. Like, nigga, how the fuck? How long's your finger?
I mean, all in all, I enjoy his album. I mean, I feel like he has all right to say whatever the fuck he want to say. It's music. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's good for hip hop. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, it's good for the culture.
But
Like, I'm all
just-
for it.
Yeah.
And even with MGK, you know, responding, and then what's the name? G-Eazy
That
responding
shit
to
was,
him.
yeah, that shit
Trash.
was trash. Yeah,
Right.
Wait, like your boy Charlotte Johnson said that mayonnaise on mayonnaise violence. You know? That's hilarious. I was like, but you know what? It's good to see like, yo, white rappers are actually beefing with each other, and I'm like, okay.
There was never enough of
Two
them.
people.
Eminem was the only one.
Yo, I'm waiting for
Eminem was like,
motherfucking.
Last time they said
What's his name? From Canada. That dude's what was his name? Snow. Or
and
I want him to come back out. Vanilla Ice and all them niggas. Goddamn, you know, say third form.
Ice.
Exactly. I'm like, oh shit. But you know,
Vanilla Ice put the houses.
what you say?
Vanilla Ice.
Oh, Vanilla Ice. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
that nigga need to come back out.
I'm glad
But
he came
Why?
up with something because he was struggling.
yeah,
So I haven't really listened to the album.
you should listen to it. It's
I was
dope.
trying to listen to it on the way, but
Yeah,
you know,
it's
things
good.
got in the way. But I will say, wow. I will say, and I can't say that I'm a connoisseur when it comes to rap. I'm more of an R&B, old kind of gal. But I do like a nice lyricist, and I feel like there's like her. But I do like, I feel like there's like 3 different types of rap artists, personally speaking. I feel like there's those who have really great content. There's those who are really good lyricists, and then there are those who can do both. And I feel like the best in the game are the ones that can do both, tell a story and still be really great lyricists.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends on like what you prefer. in my personal opinion.
Yeah, like me, like I just don't listen to the same thing all the time. Like, yeah, I'm not Jeezy and listen to ignorant shit, but sometimes I rock like bullshit people never heard of just because I like one or two songs in that album. Or maybe I just be knocking some 90s stuff, but like I just kind of keep it consistent. Yo.
Where do you rank Eminem in your top MCs of all time?
Man,
He's like one of my favorites. He's at least top 5.
All time?
Damn.
So it was like, I wouldn't say all that, but
He's at least top
I
5.
say top
So you-
10.
I mean, but you got to think about it, you know, this is all subjective.
it's all
'cause,
subjective.
I mean, like, just
All right, I've been listening
let me say something real quick. Because even to say what you said about how, like, I like the old Eminem. So I like that this went back to old Eminem where, yeah, he might be rapping a bunch of words, but now he's actually talking about some shit too. Like, it's like, all right, I got focus now, I got a direction. You get what I'm saying? Like, since, like, even the rap guy shit, when he came out with that rap guy shit, I was like, the fuck are you talking about?
No, but that's the point. He was flexing his skill. Like, I can put
We have
words
to
better
grow.
I get
together.
it.
But we already
That's-
knew that though. Like,
Yeah.
what else does he have to
But
prove with the rap
sometimes you
shit?
gotta
You
remind
have
me.
nothing else to
But you don't. Why?
It's like right now.
You
All right,
don't.
Look
You
at
gonna
the
just make love
game.
song? See if you have nothing else
He's
to
a
do?
40-year-old man looking at the game right now like, yo, I can still come back and run this shit because these little niggas not talking about
You talking
nothing.
about the game?
So, no, I'm talking about the rap game.
Oh, I was about to say, like, the
Yeah.
game. I was like, that nigga just too busy wanting to beat people up.
I'm talking about the rap
beef,
game.
like,
So he look at the rap game like, let me show I still got it at 40. This is basically what it is. Because when he tried to be woke,
We didn't want
last
that. Nobody
album,
wants that.
everybody was like, oh, that album trash. Oh, that album trash? Well, let me go back to what was working.
Yeah.
Bullying the shit out of these rappers who not gonna come back and say nothing.
And that's dope.
So that's what he came back
And that's
for.
dope. And I appreciate that more than the last two
That's
albums that he had put out. Because, like we were saying, like, I'm not saying he don't have the bars. Of course, he's a lyricist. But again, you just putting words together just to put words together is like, okay, I could do that. Like, I can put words together. Like, anybody could do that. Like, you just want to rhyme shit just to rhyme it. But with this, like I said, I like it when he actually has a focus and a direction. Hey, I'm rhyming because I'm talking my shit. Like, all right, cool. Or I'm rhyming because I'm talking about the fucked up shit I went through in life or some stupid shit about, you know, being picked on and all that. My mom's a whore. Like, all right, cool, whatever. That's funny. Whatever. Let's get back to that. Well, you just rappity rap.
You're leaving out the physical part. You're leaving out his breathing, how he breathes, how he put words together, how he don't always end the last word. Sometimes he rhyme the middle word. And, like, he does things different than everybody.
I agree with
Who's
that.
going,
I agree what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, the last couple of albums just kind of fell flat. That's all.
To me, the greatest Eminem song still is that Stan song. I think that was one of the greatest storytelling hip hop records of all time.
So everybody thought it was
talking
great.
about something. And it was like, I hadn't heard anything like that from anybody.
I actually liked Kim. That song was lit. That shit was wild, dangerous. Like, that shit was violent and shit, but it was a dope ass song. Like, it was lit. Kim was lit. That whole Marshall Mathers LP, that shit was dope.
But I guess to him, it was, and the people was getting old. You too old to be blah blah blah. Still killing your baby mama and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and I get that part.
Did he diss Drake? Did he diss Drake, or did he just say something and didn't say his name?
His guy said he didn't diss Drake.
Nah, the dude came on Twitter was like, what's his name? I can't remember his manager name, but he was like, nah, it wasn't a Drake diss. Like, I didn't see it. I'm like, what the fuck is everybody talking about Drake diss? I listened to the album like twice. I'm like, I didn't see it, but somebody was like, yeah, but you know, it's always somebody listening too close, like, yeah, he's talking about Jay-Z. Because he said, big lips, so he got these like, niggas always want somebody to beef, yo.
But I'm glad that it's white people beefing now. Like, it's dope. I want to see these white dudes flex their lyrical. I don't care.
It's corny. It's just like I'm really looking at this.
Because you know why I like it? Because ain't nobody gonna get shot. Ain't nobody gonna fight each other. They just gonna rap. Because you see what happened with our beef. Somebody always gotta get shot or get fucked up. It's nice to see some beef where some niggas is just talking. Like, hey, look here, bucko. Come here, buddy. Look here, buddy. Like, we're not gonna talk about this. Come on, get these mayonnaise Hellman's bars, okay? Okay, I got bars. Okay, I got
my
Milky
checkbook
Way.
is bigger than yours. Okay.
Whoa.
Look at there, buddy.
Exactly. Look here, brother, because they can't say nigga, so they're like, look here, brother. Exactly.
What did they say? Wigger? Was that? That's too close.
That just sounds dumb. That just sounds dumb.
That used to be a thing when I was.
Come here, wigger.
Yeah, that just sounds dumb.
Yeah,
Like,
That's like I know what a wigger is, but it's not really catch on. Like
nah, it did not catch on. It was like that just sounds stupid. Like, don't do that. I'd rather you just say niggas. I'd rather you say it and you just take his ass whooping.
It take one nigga with a hearing aid to be like, what you say, motherfucker?
Exactly.
That's ass whooping.
Exactly.
You gotta stop. He can't even hear you. Shut up, nigga.
He over there like,
I'm not
Old nigga be sounding like Colonel Stickney. What's up, nigga?
I already heard that. Like, you said, what you said? I know I said wigger. Oh, bitch. Ass.
nigga. Bro, you ignorant. You ignorant. But nah, man. Like I said, if people haven't listened to this album, I think it's dope. You know, go ahead and listen to it. Yeah, I like it.
What y'all think about?
What?
What y'all think about Aretha Franklin?
Oh, that's exactly what I was just about to segue into that shit. All right.
Funeral.
Now look. There are two things when it comes to Aretha Franklin's funeral. R.I.P. to her first because Queen of Soul, all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? Am I just like the wild asshole if I feel like your funeral is way too long?
No, everybody.
No, that was too much.
That
Like,
wasn't a
that
funeral.
shit like 7 hours or some shit.
Then the wardrobe changes.
Yeah, that's
like,
now
how
that's
you
just-
push
that's
the
too much.
casket out
Yeah.
and then change the clothes?
Niggas was
to
sleep.
that?
But it was
The
Hollywood
wardrobe
event.
changes. They changed the
Like
clothes.
it was more of a show than it was.
It was.
Okay, and that's the thing that
Queen.
bothers me
She's
about
in
it.
but she's in the music industry.
I get that
so,
part, but a lot of music people died. Prince died. His shit wasn't damn 7
Because
hours.
Prince
But
wasn't like
look
that.
how many
Prince
people
didn't
traded
rock
bullets
with
throughout her
people.
years.
Yeah.
Look, I get that, but 7 hours. Come on,
It is
that's a little too much.
But that was on a
That's
family
how they made
though.
it. Like,
I mean,
And
that's on a
if
family.
if you
just
show up to my
like,
funeral
yeah.
and you want to rap, go ahead, nigga. I don't care. I'm dead.
They made it like a
That's
show, like an
bars,
all-day
man.
show.
I think it was like her wishes really too.
What?
I think it was like her wishes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was about to say, nigga, you be talking and not talking.
No,
with the
because
mic.
the people that sang at her, except for one of them, the people that sang at her funeral
He's
was
like,
people
fuck it, I
she
got
wanted
the
to
camera.
sing.
Turn to him like,
So, I mean,
But if you add up all the singers that sang together, it'd still be like an hour. You still had 6 hours.
so you had all those guest speakers.
But I don't know why
You had the
Faith Hill sang.
wardrobe changes.
Exactly. And she didn't even need that.
They struggling.
Yeah, I was just like, put her on the ground already.
Look, man, exactly.
I don't know what family.
Damn. With the rest of the Oh yeah. Wait, what the fuck? Exactly. Come on. Run him with the work.
oh man.
Yeah.
I feel like a natural hustler.
Exactly, yo. Like, my bad, Joe.
Jasper Williams, right?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Like,
What?
this is because Jasper Williams. Because I was in a family
Is this the
said.
speaker?
Can I read his quote? Can I read his
One of
quote?
the reverends, yes.
Let me
Oh,
read.
okay.
Let me read what it. Let me read what he
Okay.
said.
The
This is what the
eulogy.
Reverend
Oh,
Jasper
gotcha.
Williams said. He
Gotcha.
said, "This is reference to black on black crime." He said, "If you choose me to ask today, do Black Lives matter? Let me answer it like this: No, Black lives do not matter. Black lives will not matter. Black lives ought not matter. Black lives should not matter. Black lives must not matter until black people start respecting black lives and stop killing ourselves. Black lives can never matter."
What does that have to do with her funeral?
Exactly.
That's what I
But
want.
people made that like their
Okay, this is what he said about. This is what he said about. This is another thing he said. A black woman cannot raise a black boy to be a man.
What?
That's what
Yeah,
he
he
said
said
at Aretha Franklin's
It is,
funeral.
Who was a single mother?
Well,
And he commented on that as well, if I recall. He talked about her not being in the home and them having to stay with family members and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't even understand how that's somebody's eulogy.
But they,
Sounds like a hater right
appreciative
there.
of that. She was a country
She had a-
funeral.
She's a bunch of
And he took time out to like, oh well, since I got y'all here, and started going off on shit like,
That's part of the
yeah, tell me a story
It was
about,
like 3
oh
hours.
this or that, and a woman should do this to get a husband. You
So
like,
to all the pastors out there that feel like that's necessary, it's not, and that's not the Lord leading you. Let that go. That's your
yeah,
ego.
like yo, I saw everything like, cause it was my aunt and uncle church, and they're sitting there crying cause their grandchild is in a casket, and you took your time to make a point.
Talk about finding a husband.
Yo, like,
Well,
I can't.
And to the point of a black woman cannot raise a boy to be a man. Now, what I will say, it is extremely important for young males to have male role models.
Gotta have that.
But it doesn't have to be the father in the home.
No, it does not.
It doesn't
there
have
you
to
go.
be that.
I was gonna say that because I'm like, my daddy wasn't there, but I have my
from
grandfather.
From what I could tell, she had a lot of brothers that were very involved.
Yeah,
so I feel like that was a very ignorant statement. And then to turn around and say, oh, well, she didn't spend a lot of time in the house. Okay, she's a single mother, so what you want her to do?
Well, what's that? Wait a minute.
Then if she was on
I
welfare,
feel like he was trying to
then
make
there
up
would
for
be
something.
an issue about that as well.
I think they caught him and he tried to make up for something.
But was that her minister? Like, did she grow up like that she frequented that church? Because I didn't understand why there was so much derogatory things being said about her by him.
Look, niggas
and that's her. You understand what I'm saying? They picked him to do her eulogy. Those are people who knew the person.
A nigga wanted to say some shit. That's all it was.
Yeah, it sounded like that's what it was.
He just wanted to say some shit.
Things.
You on TV. This is your perfect time to say some shit. Like, you trying to get viral.
What he said about black on black crime, like, you know, people say that. But I will say that it's not, it's really devastating when people, when black people say
what? No, nigga.
Did somebody grab Ariana Grande?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think, to be fair, I don't think that was the pastor that did. I think it was
I think it was
another guy. What this guy was talking about?
I don't know.
That nigga said for context for our listeners.
And that nigga said some shit. He was like, yeah, Ariana Grande. I thought that was a bill from Taco Bell. I was like, wow.
That's the kind of people who say that.
Where did he get that? I don't know who ordained him.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I was
That's what
he was
viral.
To talk about that Ariana Grande moment, and me being a man, you know what I'm saying, I do see, like, bruh, you kind of was grabbing on them little titties, you know what I'm saying, but...
He had his hand around her waist.
No. He had his hands on the titties,
bro. Yeah.
That was too much. Like, it was like right here. Like here. He kept going. He was like that ass. He was like, she like trying to pull back, and he was like, yeah, get back over here.
I'm gonna do
this.
this.
Like, yeah, like he.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah, real talk. Like a lot of females like that's wild, uncomfortable.
It's not only uncomfortable, but that is sexual assault. In case you didn't know.
Now he's gonna be in court.
Let's put this in this sense. You said like she was dressed inappropriately, right?
And I'm not saying dressed like saying for him to do that. I'm saying in general. When I saw her get up on that stage, I'm like, why is she dressed like that at Aretha Franklin?
I mean, she ain't have no club. She ain't have no club attire on.
But that's to say that everybody has the same standard for how you should dress when you walk into a church. How black people dress in church is not the same as how white people, Hispanic people, or whatever.
She's at a funeral. What is she doing?
I mean,
and then not only that,
but
no, not only that,
legs.
You're on TV and it's being okay. So who else did you see dressed like that? Who came up there to sing?
But why does she have? Why does that matter though? Why should it matter?
It did. I just felt like.
It
bothered me, to be honest. That's why I felt like she shouldn't be singing that.
But that's number one. Aretha requested her though, because she loved her voice. Yeah,
that's number one. I know. And then she should be singing "Natural Woman." That's number two.
Put like this. That's just the old timey Christian shit that you were brought up on. That you think that. No, I'm being serious. That is literally old timey Christian ways that you think.
Because it's not a Christian way. It's sort of like respect for.
That's an old timey way that they do in the church.
It's not old timey to respect somebody who's passed away.
But she didn't do anything disrespectful.
I just thought it wasn't appropriate.
Exactly. Again, that's old timey. That is old timey Christian.
It's just that's like somebody come to me. Okay, I'm gonna say in my opinion, because I have to speak for myself. I can't speak for no one else. That's like somebody coming in like Daisy Duke shorts or cut off shorts and a tank top and they're leaning over the casket.
Then that's really inappropriate.
I just think that with certain things, it's a funeral protocol. Whether they say it or not, it's a funeral protocol.
Come as you are.
But
all you got is
in my personal opinion,
I
don't think that those two are the same, mainly because she wasn't bending over. She wasn't showcasing anything. Like, she was covered. The only thing that was out was her legs. That was literally it. There are people that come in the church, like literally come in the church with their bag out, they titties out, splits up to here, like just out of control.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not saying it in a mean way, but that is a way of thinking that
because I go to church in jeans and stuff like that. I'm not talking about the church. I'm talking about funerals. I wouldn't go to a funeral like that.
But you're still going into a church.
Yeah, but
I'm like this. When my brother was buried, right? My brother didn't want, he and I remember him telling this to me before he even died. Like, I don't know why we had these conversations, but he was like, yo, if I ever die, yo, don't come in here in no suit and tie and all that shit. That's not how I live.
Yeah.
That's not what I want. So when he passed away, we didn't dress up like that. We dressed comfortable.
Because that was a conversation that was already.
Exactly, but a lot of other people could have still felt the same way you felt when we were all in there in our jeans and our sneakers, and I'm like, oh, y'all little heathens, y'all should dress appropriately. I'm like, but this is not how my brother lived. You know what I'm saying? This is not what he wanted. We didn't come in there smoking blunts and weeds and shit. Like, we was chilling. He was like, yo, I want y'all to be comfortable.
Right.
My mom even said that. She's like, yo, I want y'all to be comfortable. Like, you don't have to be stuffed up and all that shit. Like, yo, just come comfortable.
When Miss Charlotte died, right, years ago, she had her.
God bless her dad.
Yeah, God bless her dad. She had her, basically, her funeral service at a bingo hall. And we came dressed as we are. Now, she didn't have the body there, but even if she did, people would have still came.
Let me stop.
But because it was in a bingo hall, not a church, I could see, because of the location, I see you feel like if you're at a church, but I feel like if you come there to show your respects,
you come there to show your
to show your respect.
Okay,
the fact that you even came to show your respect to the dead says more than what you got on to me.
Let me stop you.
Go ahead.
Since you brought that up, her actual ceremony, we didn't go to her ceremony. Her family was only for immediate family, whatever they did personally. We went to the bingo hall because that was the place where she congregated, and that's where they wanted us to go.
Right, but
what I'm saying is you don't know what they did, but what I'm saying you don't know what they did at the actual for her family.
We don't know. We don't know that, but
Okay.
but I'm just saying, like, if the body was there at the bingo hall, right? It wasn't there. We just came and paid our respects. But if it was there and we came as we are, the fact that we even came there speaks volumes for whatever we got on. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's more important than your attire. I mean, of course, you want to dress somewhat appropriate and not come out as wild and crazy, but the fact that you even came to show your respect to somebody who dead, people, I think that speaks volumes, because your actions speak louder than anything you can say. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like your actions of being there, I just think that holds more value or more weight than what you.
And it was a concert.
I feel like this.
That's all it was.
So if Ariana Grande would have came out with that same outfit that Nicki Minaj had on at the VMAs, then that would have been a problem.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I'd have been like, yo, you wild. Like, you got your ass out and
That's
shit.
two different.
It is two different things. But I'm saying for her to come out, she had on all black, titty wasn't out, nothing like that. Her legs were just out. Like, from her, it wasn't even high, a lot of leg. It was like barely above her knee. It was like, all right, cool. I just don't feel like we should shame her, because a lot of people were shaming her.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, she shouldn't have been wearing. I'm like,
and I think
so that makes it okay for everybody to grab on her titty.
No,
yeah,
I'm not even talking about that whole.
But that should be the
problem.
That should be the problem.
Because I didn't see that, so I can't comment on something.
I got the video.
Go ahead, show her real quick.
Okay, well, why you looking at that? Like, that's my point. Like, in general, the conversation is around, well, why did she have that on, and why was she singing, and why was she doing this? The conversation should be around, why was this quote-unquote man of God grabbing some young girl's titty? That should be the conversation.
And the only one, a lot of people spoke. He was the main reverend or bishop of that church. So every time someone spoke, he took the podium back, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only person he stopped and talked to and grabbed at all was
Ariana Grande.
So that's a problem right there. He didn't let her sing and walk off. He didn't grab on anyone else but her. So it's, it just tells you how his mouth was.
Is it playing?
Did y'all know that the girl that in the Rum Shaker video that was playing the sax was Bobby Brown's wife? Did you know that?
Oh
No.
shit, damn.
Yes.
I had no idea.
At least saw the movie. Yeah.
All I want to do is
My wife's so mad.
oh, there, she's still awake. Oh, okay.
Yes, that's the girl from the Rum Shaker video is Bobby Brown's wife Alicia.
Now what you think? What you think now?
She
still says inappropriate.
No, I'm not talking about the dress. I'm talking
Oh,
about
okay.
Okay.
No.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, people deflected from it and then just wanted to talk about her dress.
No. When I saw her get on stage, I was like, "What she got on with the front?" That's the first thing I said when she got up there to sing. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was like, when she started singing Natural Woman, I was like, "All right."
I got a feeling
she sang that on. I think it was like.
She's been. I don't know.
She's been singing that song for a while.
Yeah, they made a big deal about it. That's why she was there in the first place.
I feel like this. If it wasn't Ariana Grande who was singing and wearing that, and it was somebody black, say if it was Fantasia,
Agreed.
nobody would have cared.
Had that much
They'd be like,
issue.
ooh, Fantasia, sign, bitch, yes, bitch,
Exactly.
yes,
I
bitch.
fully and wholeheartedly agree.
At the funeral, somebody be like, yes, bitch. Like, yo, we at the funeral.
But not only
and
that,
Jesse Jackson would have woke up like,
another thing to talk about too, which this lends itself to, is within the black community, we have a tendency to protect black men who do things like this.
Yeah.
Especially because she's not a black woman, so you feel like, oh, I need to protect my own. No, if he wrong, he wrong.
That nigga was
period.
wrong. I'm sorry.
Anybody,
he was wrong.
you wrong. Period.
You know what's funny though? He tried to give an apology, right? He gave the most half-ass apology to him. Yeah, I apologize for what I said and this and that. We're like, nigga, you was touching on her. And he's like, I apologize for y'all feeling like I touched on her like that. I'm like,
no, we don't feel like it. We saw it.
Wait a second. Nigga, you was touching on her like. Come on, bro. Like, I feel this way because you know a lot of pastors are like that. Yo, like I grew up around a lot of pastors like that.
Speaking of pastors, right? Aretha Franklin's father. Aretha Franklin's father was a pastor of that church for 40-something years, right?
And he been commenting on that too.
Yes. Did y'all know that her Aretha Franklin's mother and her father was married, right? During their marriage in that church, he impregnated a 12-year-old girl.
Her father?
Her father, yes, in 1940.
That happens.
Now, before they got married, her mother had another child. They had four daughters, Aretha Franklin included. They then moved from that church in, where's that church at? Down south somewhere? Wherever they were. God, where they were. But they moved to Detroit. They were like in Louisiana somewhere, Mississippi or something. Moved to Detroit. The mother and father separated in 1946. But her father got pregnant, had another daughter with this 12-year-old girl. As a pastor of the church. So, I mean, it's a long history of that.
And that's always the case. Like, especially in, I mean, I feel like, and maybe I'm just biased because, you know, I'm black, but especially in our community, like, we cover that shit up so bad, and it is not okay. I don't care who it is, man of power, not a man of power, woman, whoever, like, if they wrong, and they need to be punished severely, in my opinion.
A lot of churches do that though.
Yeah,
Catholic,
and I got the Catholic church.
The Catholic church,
I'm talking about families in general. Families in general. How many people know people who done had babies for their uncle or some shit, and they mama raising it and all this other shit? People do that all the time. Oh, you can't be with that uncle because he mess with people. Why is he here?
Exactly.
Yeah, that always happens.
I ain't gonna lie, I seen something on the internet that was disturbing. It was a chick, she had just turned, I think, 18, I guess, and her uncle she showed the text message.
Oh yeah, he was like,
he was trying to fuck her. She's like, don't fuck my uncle, my brother.
Yeah.
He's like, basically like, I ain't gonna tell if you ain't gonna tell. I'm like, bruh,
this nigga wild. That nigga really ready to risk it all, yo. He's like, yo.
I was waiting on these
you know that my dad is your brother. He's like, man, I'll fuck that nigga up. Like, what?
I was about to throw everything.
Okay.
I mean, if you down.
Exactly. Like, yo, I be looking at you. Like, wait a second.
Watching you grow up.
That's yeah, Uncle Thomas.
It's like I've been watching you grow up.
But somebody had to have noticed that, like,
yeah, but nobody say shit.
When my daughter come around,
Nobody say shit.
I wanna fuck you up, yo.
But you know what though? Because niggas don't say shit. Because I mean, some people like, man, that
he's
wild,
sweet.
man.
You know, he touched.
Oh, he don't
touched,
mean nothing.
Yeah, he don't mean no harm.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen that plenty
Or
of times.
instead, oh, you need to cover up your legs. You need to do this when you around this person. No, he shouldn't be around children, or she shouldn't be around children. I'm wrong.
Yeah, because I've seen that happen with, you know, ooh, your son look good. Like,
sweetie.
Motherfucker, like, nigga, you know.
He's 10.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got a boy. You want to be my boyfriend? I'm like, yeah, all right. Because that shit happens a lot. That's happened to me with some older. You could be my little boyfriend. I'm like, no. Fuck out of here.
No, great. Fuck.
I used to talk shit.
That's the sad part because
nigga, get that pussy, little 10-year-old ass. Go ahead. Come be the bitch, nigga.
Go get your dick sucked.
Not okay.
But you know what? I feel like that's another conversation to have on another episode because I feel like that's something that really does happen. And I'm not going to just say it's in our community, but this is all we know. You know what I'm saying? I know black people.
That's all.
The next white person I'm going to see him, I ask him, hey, did your daddy, like, encourage you at 10 years old to go fuck, like, older people or some shit? And, you know, I'm like, oh, so it does happen. Okay, cool, whatever. I mean, I guess it does because you gotta see some of these teachers. They out here fucking these, 13-year-old boys and shit. And I never see the father, man, like, how dare this voluptuous white pecky bra wearing, exactly, waist wearing.
Where do you get these hot teachers from? Like, that's wrong,
having sex with my son.
There's a bunch of college students teachers now.
Why would you do that?
Bro, you
It's
nasty,
like a piece
dog.
of half of a degree to be a fucking teacher.
What's up, John
like,
Ramrock?
Shit, they like 18. She's like 2 years older than them.
Has to be a substitute. Substitutes out here fucking too.
Yeah, they fucking. Everybody fucking.
I was this height in high school, son. Like,
you look like a grown ass man.
I was trying to fuck teachers. So I'm
Bro,
not
we
gonna
had
lie.
a substitute teacher that used to have girls like come sit on his lap in middle school. This shit was
What?
real nigga shit.
Actually,
I want to ask a question. Since we on this subject, I want to ask a question. Do we think, as a child, it would be as severely mentally damaged? We know how it can affect little girls when they get sexually abused.
No, it does. It would. Yes.
So, do you think that a little boy, 13, 14, it would be the same?
Absolutely.
Where are we going? Are we going?
I'm talking about from a female. I'm talking about from a female sexually abusing a little boy, not a male.
So it does have an effect. So when you talk about like from the mental standpoint, I think it's called like a sexual like roadmap. I may be getting the words mixed up, but basically it's how you view sex moving forward, right? And all of those earlier experiences change how you view sex when you get older. Even if you don't realize it, it does. So that's why women who were molested at a younger age, or maybe they lost their virginity at a younger age to someone
Turn to porn stars.
I wasn't gonna say that, but
some people just want to be.
Yeah, now some people just really want to do it. But that's why. So it changes how you view sex. It changes what you think it should be used for. That's why a lot of women are pushing for pro woman porn, because a lot of young girls now. No, I'm just saying, let me finish before you laugh.
Too late.
Quote unquote pro woman porn, because a lot of porn is just about getting the man satisfied. A lot of porn is just about, oh well, we gonna pound this pussy out, blah blah blah, XYZ, but it's not about treating the woman's body. So this is what young boys watch, and as a result, this is how they treat the girls that they come into contact with. There have been cases where teenage boys have literally raped girls, and they thought that it was okay because they saw it in porn. So all of that has to do with how you view sex.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just want to know what the fuck is pro woman.
Exactly. I just said that.
I
just explained that shit. You know?
I mean, like, this nigga want to paint the business story. Before I jizz on your face when you comb your hair.
But you're making jokes because the norm. You're making jokes because the norm is the man is always satisfied. It's always about the money shot. The man coming. There are a lot of women who didn't even realize that they were supposed to have orgasms. Only about 65%. Let me finish.
Is it done yet?
Actually, you can though. You can. Things happen, but they don't show that part in most porn.
Nigga, I watch lesbian porn. That should be lit. I don't give a fuck.
That should be way too long. You don't know when to fucking stop.
Son, you gotta. Son, you gotta find the shit that has only 2-minute clips.
Yeah. First of all, you got the filter. Okay, you gotta do a 1 to 10 minute clip.
What are you doing? Like, it gotta be 2-minute clips, bro.
All the
Like,
clips.
I'm not trying to watch the whole thing.
Listen.
You gotta get.
Look, I need a minute of you telling me what's going on, and that's all I need. Like, what?
Get the way you need to go.
Oh, God.
Show up,
and don't do the pro lesbian porn. Do the amateur porn. It's far more real.
40 minutes. You're like, that's
far
like
better.
No, it doesn't.
Amateur porn is way better.
Yo, there are these two chicks. It's called J and B or something. What their name is? It's like these two chicks, and they always like it's just one dude. They sometimes let this nigga fuck, sometimes they don't. They be fucking each other. That should be dope as fuck. I'm like, yo, this shit is lit, yo. Like, cause that nigga, I be really rooting for this nigga. Like, this nigga gonna finally get something. I'm like, oh shit, they finally let that nigga fuck. I'm like, oh shit, he fucking. That's what's up. I'm like, good job for you, dog. Like, that's what's up.
Toys and shit. You be like, what's that for?
Son, they be licking each other and all type of shit, and that nigga be
Why
over there
y'all
like.
telling jokes? Lesbian of all demographics of women, lesbian women are more likely to have an orgasm during sex. 6 times more likely to have an orgasm during sex than heterosexual women. Because so they know what the fuck they doing.
Yeah, because you got a vagina, I got a vagina. We know what's going on. I'm not trying to
But
fuck.
that's
I
what
got a dick. You got a
happens when you
dick, so let's
that's
go.
what
Like,
happens.
nah.
That's what happens when you know how to clean your
Like
partner.
we fucks with each
That's the
other.
point. You gotta know how to
Hand
clean your
scissor.
partner, and porn isn't about that.
Sword fight.
Unfortunately.
This is tip topping.
I'm not watching
And
lesbian
completely
porn.
unproductive.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know
one
what?
thing, I
Son,
don't
I don't even want to talk
nowhere-
about this shit no more. This shit
I
took
don't want to be
a
involved with nothing where nobody
took a
wants to
wrong
fuck
turn,
me. So
son.
I'm like,
yeah, this took a wrong turn. Anything
It
else we want to
always
talk
leads
about?
back
Let's
to
go back
porn
to-
and sex at some point.
Look, is there anything else we want to talk about before we wrap this up?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, get your little promo.
Go ahead. Exactly.
No, go ahead.
Promo?
Look, go ahead, let Joe go, because you about to
Alright,
talk about some shit.
That's a really, really important topic is the Brett Kavanaugh,
Who?
Supreme Court Justice.
Oh, we'll save that for another episode.
Yeah, that's
No, I'm just saying, it's going on right now.
Yeah, I
I'm just
know.
gonna mention it, and the idea that, you have a chance to look at Kamala Harris, question.
Kamala Harris, big ups to her.
Yeah.
She is lit. I love her. Now, if y'all don't know who she is,
Yeah.
please look her up.
And the
She about her
fact
shit.
that if he gets on, it'll be a 5-4 majority.
Mhm.
With very, scary conservative justices that
Yeah.
could turn the tide for many things.
Especially the Roe versus
They
Wade
all-
decision.
Yeah.
Roe v. Wade,
Yeah.
the 13th Amendment. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever.
there's a lot of shit. Yeah.
A lot of
Y'all going
shit.
back to slavery.
A lot of shit that could change,
Yeah.
as a joke, but it's an interesting person if you read up on him. But
Guys, I need
side
to,
note.
people who watch my live, definitely listen to that. Go ahead, Ronette, though.
Okay, so Gratitudes, they have a pop-up shop coming up on this Saturday.
Speaking to the mic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's promo time. Now she's
Yeah.
up on the mic. Yeah.
Exactly. Speak to the
My
mic.
voice carries. So,
Nah, it was kind of low.
Okay,
I
so
see.
Gratitudes, we're having a pop-up shop this Saturday at Impulse, 5300 Old Pineville Road. 4 doors down from Onyx. Come through. Hope to see you there.
What time?
6 to 11.
Keep
6
it on
to
with her.
11.
You go, ooh, shit.
Come on through. Come
She
on
tryna-
through.
she tryna get them gratitudes. So you trying to get that gratitude?
Oh, I'm going out there. She had some joints out there last time.
Oh, word?
We had a good time
So I-
4 weeks ago.
I can try to come out there when I get off work. So I mean,
Oh, it's still, yeah.
I mean, if y'all still out there, then yeah. You said
Yeah, get on
which
the
date is it
phone.
again?
This Saturday.
This Saturday.
This
Okay, cool.
Saturday.
Like if y'all still out there, I'll call somebody, see if something. I'll show up. Like, you
Come
know.
through. We had a good time last time. John kept, you still out there? You still out there?
No, I had something happen, yo.
Had something
Why
pop.
you put me on blast like shit?
Let it know you was out there cracking them cheese.
Yeah, but he was watching though.
You want to crack
He
no
was
cheese?
I
watching.
wish it was.
Oh man, lie. Please, lie about it.
We don't need the truth.
Exactly.
Can't handle the truth.
Nah, but
The lie sounds
there's
better.
some joints out there though.
There's some joints out there. That's what's
Yeah,
up. I mean, I ain't gonna
Go ahead,
really do
slide
that.
out there,
I'm gonna look at them. But, I'm chilling.
Oh, you chilling?
I'm chilling.
Oh.
Look, y'all think I'm playing? Like I'm really chilling right now. I'm good. I'm in a good little situation.
They're not gonna do no butt naked public demonstration.
Yeah, I'm chilling right now.
You should
Come
Josh?
through and
I
see
could.
the
Come
stage.
through and see what
That's
She
not
might
the
be
case.
doing
Come
it.
through
She
and
might be
see
doing
what's
it.
going
demonstration.
on.
I'm gonna talk to y'all about that too. So we'll talk to y'all about that.
Me?
Yeah, I'm talking.
Oh, I was about to say.
Keisha.
Okay.
She over there.
I'm
Oh,
alert.
Go ahead on that, y'all.
she ain't alert. It's
I
okay.
am alert. I'm
It's
listening.
okay. It's okay, sis. But I think that nobody else has anything
This is
else.
a really good episode.
Josh, you ain't got nothing.
Every episode.
Oz, nothing. Terrell, you got anything? Josh,
I'm good.
Joe.
This is just getting better.
No.
My
Nothing?
schedule might change up, but
Oh, other than that, for the people who've been watching us on live again, watch us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. UNFAMOUS Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe. We're doing our lives on there now. We want to get some streams on that so we can, possibly
Well,
get
hold on,
some
I got
sponsors
something.
and stuff like that. Oh, you do
follow
got something.
me YouTube Unfamous John.
You got your own YouTube?
Unfamous, yeah.
Okay.
Underscore John.
Hey, I was gonna say, did you get the Twitter shit back popping again?
Oh nah, I gotta
Go ahead,
sit
just
down
make
and-
another one.
Yeah.
Just make another one. We'll go ahead.
That's
Whenever
why
you
I
get
got,
that.
that's why you got the laptop fixed. I still got my tablet getting fixed right now.
Okay. Whenever you get that
I got
situated, let me know so we can put it out
I
there.
do want to say something real quick. I'm mad I've been in this whole episode. I just noticed this nigga's shirt right quick. That shit is dope. Where the fuck you get that from?
You didn't notice it? Old as fuck.
I ain't never seen him wear that shit.
That's my
Not
first
out
time.
of reach.
Hold on. So people can see it. There you go.
Wow.
That's some real unfamous shit.
Yeah.
Some real unfamous shit.
I have one more thing to say. Shout out to all the people that tuned in on live tonight, watching us,
For sure. Hey,
listening in.
tell them people follow us on SoundCloud, YouTube, all that good stuff, yo. Hey guys, follow us on SoundCloud, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, iTunes. We about to get some other shit popping on different podcast apps, all that shit, man. When we get that information, we'll let it out to y'all. If y'all want to follow us, is UNF @ MOUSPODKAST. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's it, man. It was a pretty good episode. We can go ahead and wrap this up. But this your boy Sean, Mr. NJ Brick City.
It's John from Up in the Sky.
Any Hardaway.
Unreal Fiction.
DK Netty representing Gratitude.
Just Kia.
And you love me, and you're right.
First 48.
And then motherfucking Joe Cool. The devil teacher. The devil whisperer. See it? Come on, Joe.
Joe Cool. Something that Miguel said tonight that I like. Just to finish it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's very short and simple though, but it's a great statement.
What's up?
Nobody cares. Work harder.
I like
Great
that.
statement. Short and sweet, but
I like that.
I like that.
That's a good way to end that.
Like a
I feel like we should have shit like that all the time. Like a t-shirt right there. What's up? But thank you for everybody listening. This is the Unfamous Podcast, guys. All right, peace.
Bye.
Make sure this is good to go. And I'm gonna give this shit to you right now, Terrell.
Shoot. I can finish it right in the car, bro.
No, man, you ain't gotta do.